women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
You're watching America This Morning, America's #1 early.
Time after time after time, we are watching murderers go free. They hide behind their badges, they hide behind their white privilege, and they use the excuse that they fear for their lives to murder our young people in cold blood.
It's done.
Ex, my brother.
No. Don't think about it.
All you self-righteous assholes do is march and destroy your own communities. Killing me won't change a goddamn thing.
It's a lot different when it's a grown black man standing his ground.
What?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
You're watching America This Morning, America's #1 early.
Time after time after time, we are watching murderers go free. They hide behind their badges, they hide behind their white privilege, and they use the excuse that they fear for their lives to murder our young people in cold blood.
It's done.
Ex, my brother.
No. Don't think about it.
All you self-righteous assholes do is march and destroy your own communities. Killing me won't change a goddamn thing.
It's a lot different when it's a grown black man standing his ground.
What?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
You're watching America This Morning, America's #1 early.
time, we are watching murderers go free. They hide behind their badges, they hide behind their white privilege, and they use the excuse that they fear for their lives to murder our young people in cold blood.
It's done.
Eggs, my brother.
No. Don't think about it.
All you self-righteous assholes do is march and destroy your own communities. Killing me won't change a goddamn thing.
It's a lot different when it's a grown black man standing his ground.
Barbershop conversation, guys. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Who we got? We got Keno, Jack Bo. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Birdman, Sa. I genuinely appreciate you. But without further ado, we have the most beautiful girl, the award-winning student, Kennedy Lenny Jean Hawthorne, ladies and gentlemen. Next time. Kennedy Lenny Jean Hawthorne. Great job. Great job. Coming next to the stage, the gentleman, the baller. Scary season's coming soon. Lincoln Curtis Gerald Hawthorne, ladies and gentlemen. Lincoln Curtis Gerald Hawthorne, ladies and gentlemen. Hawthorne, I appreciate y'all. Close the door. Thank you, guys. Happy holidays, y'all. I know Lincoln and Kennedy don't get out of school till Thursday, but hopefully you and yours are doing great, man. Planning for the holiday season, and if you Scrooge the Grinch, you know what I mean, or if you just don't believe in the holiday, I respect that too. But spend time with your family, man. The ones who love you, man. Don't spend time the ones with the family that don't appreciate you, man. You know what I mean? That's the problem we have. We spending too much time with family that don't appreciate us, man. Family can hate too. You know what I mean? I got haters in my family. You know, some of my family members think I'm a hater. You know, so it is what it is. So we stay far, far away from each other. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyways, man, I appreciate you guys coming through tonight. Pretty fun show, I think, tonight. I mean, in terms of conversation, I think that this show makes for a good conversation, and in terms of what we talk about in terms of fatherhood and how a son should act with his father, and we'll get to that in a second. But in boxing news, Jose Ramirez turned down the Regis Prograis purse bid. He didn't like the purse split 65-35, and that's a synonym for we're not taking the fight. You can make more money. You can make more money with me. We gonna put you down in Fresno and we gonna sell that thing out. And I'll give you your own date and your headline, and then I'll give you a shot at the WBO championship. That's what that sounded like to me when I read that, man. I saw it today. So that is where we're at with that. I didn't go to boxing scene today. Yeah, he going to WBO route. We all know that, man. Ain't no secret. We act like we no, let's do it this way and do it that way. Nah, but Jean Pascal vows to destroy. I don't know who that is. Joshua, me and Wilder are in the same era. The fight has to happen. Usyk promoter expects the fight to happen no later than March 4th. Tyson Fury knows. Oh, rest in peace, Steve Smoger. 79 years old, man. Rest in peace to that young man. Old man. Thank you for everything, man. Hey, I read his bio. He was a pretty impressive man. He was very disciplined and served his country and was a lawyer. And oh man, what a man. What a man. What a man. Du Bois. Yeah, man. Broner. I'm not just one of the elites. I'm one of the greats of all time. Like that quote. Promote. Vladimir shit, who cares? Derek James, nah, who cares? And then I saw Blue Blood report. I don't know if you saw that. What's up, KB? I saw Blue Blood today. He said that what else? He said BLK Prime did 120,000 pay-per-views. And I'm glad that's a good introduction, man, because I'll say this, as I always say, we don't need Bob Arum running a monopoly in America. If Bob Arum is the only show in town, your butt making $200,000 a fight. You know what I'm saying? You making $150,000 a fight. Where you gonna go, Eddie Hearn? No, you got to come to Top Rank. So, I want Al Haymon to do what's best for the fighters and let them go, let them be free. Because at this present time, Al Haymon, you ain't got the answers, Sway. You ain't got the answers, Al. You ain't got the answers, Al. You know, and we'll talk about that too. So 120,000 views, and that averages out to over $4.7 million. I'm not sure how much the gate did. The gate looked like it probably made $2 million. So 1,747 plus 2 million, that's 6.7. So they right about they'll probably make about 6, 7, they'll probably make about $9 million. That's decent. I say that's decent. Obviously, great is making money, right? It's being in the black. So I'm not gonna sit and tell you they did great. But if you compare it to the recent pay-per-views, if they did $120,000 and you compare that to the January 1st card, what the hell was the January 1st card? I'm trying to think. Chris Martin. Is it Chris Martin? Charles Barton versus Luis Ortiz. If you compare it to that card for $39 on January 1st, I would say it was it did better than that. If you look at Keith Thurman in terms of numbers, it did better. I'm not sure if it made more money, but how many buys? What an idiot this guy is. This motherfucker pitched it back to nobody. If you look at Wilder did under 100,000 buys, and now you look at them, they did 120,000 buys. So the answer is, as Bob Arum suggested, as BLK Prime did, is lower the cost of these pay-per-views. You know, so I think Al Haymon and Showtime by the end of the year will change their pay-per-view price going into 2024, because they're gonna have to. The market is not working. The market is not working out, and I'm just talking sheer numbers. I'll get to being an Al Haymon hater later, right? Just for y'all. Just for y'all, man. Just so I could piss some other YouTubers off and they could make 19 videos. But yeah, so I would say that that's a good start. We need them to do well. We need Al Haymon to respond and put on a good card and not charge us $80 for the card. He needs to charge us $40, and Showtime needs gonna have to step up, and we're gonna figure out their budget in about 2 weeks, you know, because they're gonna have to drop a schedule, and we'll see what happens with that. But honestly, I have no idea where they're at, because Lil Steven wasn't at the fight this weekend, so no one interviewed him. But he'll be around January 7th, and I'm gonna have, man, that'd be great, man. You think Showtime will go top heavy? Oh yeah, they have to. They have to be top heavy. It's no doubt about it. Wouldn't you be top heavy? You know what I mean? And then hope for the best, and hope you reel it in. But I saw Master P. I'll get into that, because I don't know where we're gonna go, so I'm gonna just set the table. Master P and his son Romeo got into a spat online, and I was thinking, how did we get here? How did we get to this space where a father and a son chooses to use the internet to air their grievances out against each other? And I'm only using them because they're popular. You know, I can give a damn, and it galvanizes the conversation, where we all know the parties involved. It's really appalling. My camera's off a bit. It's really appalling for me as a father and a son, and just as a human being, that the internet is more powerful than a father and a son calling each other. Master P would rather go online. Romeo would rather go online. And for those of you who don't know, I trained Romeo for 3 years. So I was in with them. You know what I mean? They were great allies to me. I was a mentor to Romeo for 3 years. And so I know him well. I haven't spoken to him since about 2013, somewhere in there, 12, 13. He changed his number, and I don't really, I mean, I'll see him at some point during basketball. I'll see his brother play. I had his little brothers in the gym running around, and now they're a hell of a basketball player. So they've done a hell of a job, you know, so congratulations to them. Also, I don't know where to start, you know, with this. So we can definitely unpack this as it pertains to Master P and Little Romeo. Well, he goes by Romeo now. And then 3. I'm real interested in y'all responses, because the motto at PBC was "You're your own boss," right? And that's for all the fighters. I don't care if you were a C-class fighter, A level fighter. I'm interested in y'all responses. Do you think the fighters have the power at PBC? We already, hey, it's no use comparing it to Bob Arum. We know Bob Arum is in charge. It's no use comparing it to Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn's in charge. Okay, so we don't have to say, well, the white man did this. Oh, Fred, why you don't talk about the white man? Nah, we know Bob Arum's in charge. Okay, so let's cut the BS, man, and let's just stay on topic tonight if we can. You know, it's funny how black people say, oh man, I don't want no white people in my business. the first thing they blame is the white man. The white man holding me down, man. Man, we need a code, man. Black people need a code. No, you need to raise your kids, man. Don't you know if fathers would have raised their kids, we wouldn't be in this. We wouldn't be in this fiasco. You know what I mean? They wouldn't be terrible statistics. Someone sent me a statistic today. Man, I thought that shit was too high. Unbelievable to understand. But anyways, man, I'm gonna let y'all in and we can talk about. Please feel free to go anywhere, man. I got some other stuff I want to talk about too. I do want to see that Whitney Houston movie on the 23rd, but I don't want to go to the movie theater. That's kind of weird now. COVID done messed me up now. Now I want to sit. I think the most comfortable place to watch a movie is in my living room now. You know what I mean? Not unless I'm going to see Avatar or Marvel or anything as such. But this is a biopic. I want to watch this in my living room. So hopefully it'll be on HBO Max or something like that because I have no desire to go watch this in a movie theater. You know, I went and saw Black Panther 2, and I'm like, why am I here? This movie, Black Panther 2 was an hour too long. It literally wasted our time for an hour. So, but yeah, so that's where I'm at. And we got Michael Fuller coming in. Hopefully he's doing great. And what's up, Doc? But yeah, so that's where I'm at. What's up, Doc?
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Very well.
Okay, great. I just wanted to get in here first tonight.
Yeah, please. I know you're going to bed, right?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta get up early. But man, how's life, Fred? I know you. How you living?
Everything is good, man. We're getting ready for the holidays. Similar to like Thanksgiving, we're hosting Christmas, and
great.
So it's gonna be a real festive, man. And no man is allowed to do that Beyonce dance in my house. So I'm shutting it down, man. So, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, I want to kind of unpack that Master P and Romeo.
Yeah,
thing.
please. I'm interested in your
very, very interesting. But I'll say something first before I get into that, and hopefully, man, I hope some people hear this. I told you my wife's a school teacher.
Yes, you did. A long time ago. You haven't mentioned it in a long time.
Yeah, she's got little kindergartners. Mm-hmm. And man, she told me today she's in class with one of her little students. And this is one of her students, a little white kid. I think he's 5 years old. 5 years old. He comes up and he goes, he calls my wife by her first name. He goes, he goes, Miss So-and-so, he goes, my parents were talking bad about you in the car last night, and I just don't understand it. And she told me that he looked at her with the hurt. He was hurt and confused at the same time. And we talked about it a little bit this evening when she got home. And I think it's just this whole thing of I know we make fun of, or we kind of minimize the impact of racism in society and how that culture is transferred from one generation to another, but it's real. And when these children, when they come in contact with it, they don't understand it. All he knows is that when he comes into my wife's classroom, he feels loved. He feels cared for by a person who, that he loves back, right? He loves her. And so when he heard his parents talking bad about her, he didn't say anything, but it bothered him so much that he came in the next day and couldn't help but mention it. And he said it in a way that was very disturbing to him. And he was just confused. And she said that she just tried to change the atmosphere and kind of cheer him up, not really going into a lot of explanation about it, but just kind of changing the subject and getting him involved with the classroom activities. So it's a real thing.
Did he expound on what the parents said?
No. Well, I didn't ask her. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he did or not. I don't, the fact is that She said that she's felt that from the male parent. She's felt that type of, you know, distant or standoffish type of attitude when she's spoken to the parents when they come in. You know, I just let her know, as long as he's standoffish and he has that type of attitude, as long as he doesn't say anything respectful, I won't have to come up there. So, you know, I just told him, just keep me abreast, keep me informed about how he's responding to her, and if there's anything that even comes close to being aggressive, and let me know, and I'll come and straighten that out. But no, she didn't mention anything about what he said in particular, but obviously it wasn't nice.
Yeah. And she would know. I'm just curious. I'm not minimizing it. I'm just asking.
Right. Yeah, because the kid was pretty disturbed. He was pretty disturbed to the point where she had to cheer him up, you know. So it's one of those things where, you know, he loves his parents, but he also loves her, and he didn't really understand, you know, why. And that's what he said. He says, I don't understand why. He kind of shook his head, you know. So the beauty of that, and I think the beauty of that is that children come into this world with a clean slate, and it's really up to us to lead them and guide them in the correct way. It's not, they don't come in with full of hatred and bigotry. They don't come in like that. They learn those behaviors. They learn those attitudes. The problem is when they have someone in their lives that they just know as a person that loves them and they love them back, they hit this nexus of some cognitive dissonance where they just don't understand why it's like that, and they have to make a choice if it keeps getting presented to them. So we just got to be careful. It's a real thing. It's the forcing function for why racism is passed from generation to generation and generation. It's an example of that. It's a real thing and something that we need to be careful about. But as far as the Romeo thing, man, that bothered me, because I think about, you know, obviously I'm looking from 10,000 foot view on that. You knew them personally. I just know them from the media, but I know about Romeo. I know he went to USC like I did. He, you know, got a great education.
Mm-hmm.
His father provided him with that great education and those great opportunities. Given where his dad came from, that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. His dad had to overcome a lot to be able to provide him with that type of life. And obviously he tried to raise his son to walk in the same footsteps. Now, none of us are perfect when we raise our children, because we don't have, especially when you have them young, you know, in your 20s, you don't have the maturity at that point, and you definitely don't have a owner's manual or parent's manual, so to speak, that will lead you and guide you in the right way to not make mistakes when you're raising children. And there's no excuse for it, but still, we don't have a manual on all the right things to do. I just think that all the things that he's done for his son, I know he was hurt. That's why he responded publicly. He was hurt, and he's hurt that he doesn't have communication with Romeo or his son. And the only thing that I can think of, man, to be honest with you, you take the mother out of the equation. And I would dare to say that, given all the things that his father's done and the sacrifices that he's made for Romeo, it may have something to do with the mother, the way the mother feels about Master P.
Right.
And her speaking into his life. I'm talking about speaking into Romeo's life and into Romeo's psyche. I think that's a lot of times when things like that happen that don't make sense, you know, where, you know, the father's kind of painted in a light that he's undeserving of. You can look at the kid, you know, he could be a grown man or not, but usually the puppet master behind that is that mother. You know, speaking into him, speaking into his spirit and his mind. You know, women have, especially women that are spiteful or regretful for not staying with a decent man. And then they walk away from it, and the man says, okay, that's it, we're done. And I'm not taking you back now, or I'm not taking you back this time, whichever one it is. When they realize that it's really over, that they walked away from something, walked away from their family, and they walked away from a man that loved them, if they don't have any recourse, they'll change the children's attitude and outlook towards the father. That happens early and late into age. It happens. And a statistic that was out there, I think that guy Kevin Samuels, before he died, he was talking about how 80-90% of the marriages or relationships that end between Black couples is due to the woman leaving. You know what I mean? And it's just an environment right now where, of course, you know, it's just how it's very easy for Black men to be blamed for certain things that happen. It's very easy. We're a very easy scapegoat because we're like painted in this light of being the troublemakers, the F-ups, you know, of society, right? If you want to have a poster child for an F-up in American society, you're going to have a side of a milk carton. It's going to be a Black dude's face on it, right? Because that's the image that we have. So it's very easy for us to be painted as a scapegoat, even in the relationships and families. But you got to realize nobody's perfect. The man I think he did extremely well by his son. Not everyone can say, hey, my dad sent me to USC, right? Or gave me openings to grow professionally as a businessman, different opportunities. He just needs to be grateful. And I think he may be a little thwarted because of, like Master P was talking about, the trauma of losing his sister. But then I also think that there may be an aspect or a component in there where his mother speaking negativity into his life. I don't know for sure, but 90% of the time that's what's going on.
Yeah. And when I was with Rome, I forget the years. I'll tell you guys the years exactly. It was the year DeMar DeRozan went to USC, the year before that, the year he went to USC, and the year after that, and the year DeMar got drafted, and I had him the year after that. So whatever years those were. And I had DeMar DeRozan for 2 years too. I had DeMar for 2 years and Romeo for 3. And I saw, really, I'll be honest, he was on campus damn near every day, P. You know what I mean? And we worked. He bought it was Hershey, that the two boys' names were Hershey and Versey. I think they all got that type of name, if I'm not mistaken. And he would drop off his boys. Rome would pull up in his Mercedes. It was that new popular Mercedes he had. And we would work for an hour and a half, and I would leave, and P would be at the door, and it seemed like a good relationship. And the only time we didn't train was when they had to travel, and I remember they traveled and they asked me if I wanted to go, and I'm like, no, I'm not going. I wasn't really interested in that, you know. They went to New Orleans and did some community work, and I think they went to Memphis and did some community work. They did a lot of stuff, but it's all like I never knew it would be this important. Yeah, I never thought I'll be having this type of conversation. And but it was a great level of respect between the two. Oh man, he adored his father. I mean, like, adored him.
Right. Yeah.
So
I think, you know, and even with all of that, and this is what I've learned over time, even with all of that, no matter how old you get, you're going to return to your origin. And the bottom line is your origin is your mother. You understand? Your origin is your mother. You're going to eventually return to your mother for whatever, you know, the nurturing, the support that she gives as, you know, maternal as the maternal being in your life. You know, you're gonna return there if she's still living.
Right.
And if you're in a place of trauma where you're kind of psychologically broke down anyway, and she speaks that negativity into you, or she gives you an ultimatum: in order for you to be right with me, you have to be wrong with him.
Right.
You know, and it may not be directly stated, but it just may, you know, how women can manipulate. Women can tell you things without telling you,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just through their actions. Right.
I never met the mom. Never met her. I've seen her, but from afar. I never had a chance. I saw the one that passed away. I saw her a lot. The one that committed. Well, I don't know if she committed suicide, but it was an OD or something like that.
Oh,
I
really?
don't. Don't quote me on that, but it's out now.
Okay.
I think it's a fentanyl OD, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh man.
So I knew his whole family, man, and I'm telling you, man, I never would have thought this from them. They were so tight. I mean, they were. I swear before, man, I will not lie to y'all, man. It was like when I saw Rome come out against his dad, and I'm like, this is weird because I mean, obviously I'm talking 10 years ago, but it's I never would have thought that they would be at odds ends publicly because P does a lot of everything private. You know, he's not really a public person. He's popular, but well, it was before that. It was before social media too. But I mean, it was Facebook, I believe, but I don't think it was Instagram and anything like this. But he was not really a public person. He would say all of 5 words to me if I didn't talk to him. Like you know, he would sit in and watch me train Rome, and but he never. I was shocked because
You didn't talk a lot.
and then too. Now that you're talking, I remember Rome doing a lot of commercials. I remember Rome doing I called him Rome. I'm sorry, Romeo. I remember Rome doing award shows. I remember they had an award show at USC he did. I remember us having to train on the west side because he had some prior commitments. Him and DeMar was always together. It was MySpace, right? Him and DeMar were together a lot, and they did a lot of stuff together. But in terms of money, it was never looked like he paid me on time, and I wasn't a celebrity host, so I wasn't like, hey, Rome, if you train me, if you let me train, now I'm like, these are my prices. This is what it is. They paid me every week, never had a problem because we had games on Saturdays. So I would train him twice a week, and Rome would call me during the week and just for advice on shit like this, what's going on in school. I was kind of I turned into like Rome's mentor. So I know at that time where his brain was and how he moved. Man, he adored his father. When I say adored, oh man, he adored his father.
Right.
And but I knew Rome was making money though. I will say Rome, he was never short on cash because I was always an invitation. Hey Fred, you want to do this? Hey Fred. I'm like, nah, I never went with them anywhere. I never took a plane ride with them anywhere. I never went on set with him anywhere. I never used him for VIP stuff, nothing like that. Never ever, you know.
Right.
And so I know they had money because he always paid me. Never was any doubt. He paid me, man. Paid me. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So I would say that the sister thing kind of broke the camel's back. And I know he was at that time. Okay, I'm glad you remember. At that time, I'm not sure if they were at odds ends or anything like that. I don't know. But I do remember the conversation about they wasn't in agreement. The mom and the dad wasn't in agreement. But Rome never said anything bad about his mom either.
No, of course not.
No, he never said anything to his mom because now it's coming to me. His daughter, the sister that passed, was a volleyball player. It's coming to me now. And I remember her playing in a volleyball tournament at somewhere where they had to fly to. It was like, you know, they have AAU for volleyball. I guess they had like for basketball. So I guess they had AAU for volleyball. And I remember the mom coming on campus and the two little boys. Now they're really good basketball players now. So
Right.
I think they were like 5 and 6 or 6 and 4 at the time. And we used to always be in the foyer area of the Galen Center. And we would talk for hours because I would have to stay because I lived in Whittier, and Whittier goes with traffic. So I am stuck in traffic. So I have to wait till 7:30, 8 o'clock to leave anyway, you know. So I'm literally sitting on campus just hanging out with DeMar. At that time, it was DeMar that went to the NBA. DeMar, OJ Mayo, and Taj Gibson. Those were the 3 on that team that went to the NBA, and I trained all of them. You know,
cool.
Yeah, and
Cool.
so I would sit on campus and ride in the cart with the coach, and we would just cruise the campus. Then I would go home around 8:30, you know, and twice a week. Yeah, twice a week. And but I just remember them being a tight knit family. I'm being honest though, I wouldn't lie, tight knit family. And I remember Rome just being a very caring kid, you know. And at the time, he was making a lot of money because because he would always be moving and shaking. So that's why we trained twice a week. But the one thing, he never missed a game. We had games on Saturdays. He never missed a game. Never. No matter what he was doing in his life, he showed up with a security guard, and he showed up with his dad, and his mom would come, and his sisters would come, and Hersey and Versey would be there. And I mean, it was just honestly, because Romeo's name is Percy, if I'm not mistaken. His name is Percy. So and he was making a lot of money though. Because I remember, man, he said, Fred, I got to do this, I got to do that. Can we train at 4? Can we train at 4:30? I remember those days. Can we push it up? Yeah. I wish I had my old phone, man. I would show y'all, I would read y'all some of the texts we would have, man. That I could share. You know, I don't have that phone anymore, but he was a kid though. Rome was a kid. Rome was a cul-de-sac kid. Rome wasn't a thug. He was a yes sir, no sir kind of guy.
Right. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's what it should be. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. He was a very respectful man. When I say respectful, man. He didn't use the N-word. He didn't curse a lot. He was a real cul-de-sac kid that sounded like he came from 2 parents. And you guys probably can see it now. Like he's not he's a Nickelodeon kid, kind of. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's who he is, man. He's like a Nickelodeon kid. Yeah. You know, and
that's cool.
He I remember he called my niece because they knew I was training, and my niece wanted him to call happy birthday. He called her on a birthday, and yeah, man. But that's what I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know anything about them personally, anything like that. I'm just the statement that I'm making is just something that I see happen a lot. And so it's, you know, when you do have like, because there's a lot of good fathers out here, man, black men that are good fathers, and despite the things that we do, sometimes the kids don't see us in the light that they should, or the light that we deserve to be seen in. And 90% of the time when that happens is because the mother is either spiteful or, you know, realizes she made a mistake, or there's something wrong where she doesn't feel right about the father, and she channels those emotions through her children, even in their later years, about their father. So I mean, the bottom line is that, because you know, they're gonna look at dad as, you know, self-sufficient, you know, he's gonna make it happen, right? But they feel like they need to protect mom, especially boys. So if mom's feelings are hurt, or she, you know, uses manipulation, you know, to say, hey, your dad hurt me, then eventually, you know, it may not even be the case. It just may be that she made a decision, and now she's got to live with the decision, you know.
Right. And his show was on Nickelodeon, so I see it in the chat too. Yeah, so I didn't even know, but yeah, he was a very respectful kid. Didn't curse. He didn't curse. He knew he was in the public eye. Everywhere he went, he was cognizant that he was famous.
Yeah.
He was very cognizant of it. And I remember playing. He was on my team for 2 years. He played about 30 games with me. And so about 15 games a year. And never cursed. I mean, he loved it. He loved it. Man, he loved the shit out of me. Oh, he loved the shit out of me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, because he would always call me and ask about like management and what I need to do to play and managing his time and like being a celebrity and being on campus, because I really wasn't a celebrity whore. You know, I never was a celebrity. That's why I never hang out with these guys when they go to parties. I've never hung out with Floyd at a party, Wilder, anybody like that, you know.
Right.
But he was, I'm telling you, man, he's a Nickelodeon kid, man, as I just said, man. That's why it was so shocking to me that he did this, man. And I wish I had his number. I don't have his new number. I would call him and see what's up. He would be happy to hear from me right now. If anybody knows Rome, give me his number. You know what I mean? Because he would be happy to hear from me right now.
I'm definitely not saying that that's the situation, because I don't know. I'm just saying, based on my experiences, when you have a good father like that and a child has a dispute that's that deep with the father, there's usually the mother that has something to do with that.
Right.
But I mean, that may not be the case at all.
Right. Hannibal, what's up? Oh, I'm sorry.
Now, what's up, everybody, man?
What's up?
Yeah, when I first seen this, I thought it was like a joke or whatever, because like you was speaking on like what we seen, you know, they was tight, they was real close. So when I, was reading what this was all about, to me it just seems like they both, it's like really messed up that, his sister and daughter passed away from an overdose. And I think it's really taking a toll on them at this point in their lives. So, that's how I'm looking at it. But Michael Fuller did bring up a good point about how, the mother will use the son to go at the father due to her feeling some type of way. Either she made a mistake or she feels as though she got played. So it's a lot going on. And, I just wish they would have never put this out in the public, because they put out an image of, Master P being a good father and Romeo just being this respectful son that he had, produced. And so now we're just looking at, a 50 Cent, what 50 Cent and his son going through, and it's sad. And, one thing that pains me about this, that I'm sick of black men always trying to blame their father for some shit that goes wrong in the family. And we got to start looking at everybody in our family as adults and not children. And we baby everybody else, but then when it comes to the father, it's like, if he do something wrong, he can't do wrong, basically. We want to just shit on him every freaking chance we get. And that goes on in a lot in the community, man. So that's my piece on it, Because what Romeo did is like, no disrespect, it's just a coward move, man. Like, if you grieving because your sister passed away and then your mama is not right, it's no need for you to even like try to insinuate like it's all your father's fault. And a lot of black men don't look at their mother as an adult. They don't know how to just be like, okay, this is my mother and she's an adult. So she does have the capability of making adult decisions.
I think I agree. I think what happens a lot, and I'll be real quick. What happens a lot is those of us who do have fathers that grow up with our fathers, like Romeo, at one point we think that our fathers are superheroes, that they're going to be the ones that keep us safe from whatever happens in the world. They're going to be the ones that are able to make it right. And when you get older, you realize that your father doesn't have that much power, no matter who he is. You're going to be subject to the normal storms, tragedies of life. And if you're not mature, you'll begin to think it's your father's fault that he couldn't protect you from that, even on a subconscious level, that he couldn't change the world to be a place that was better for you or more protecting of you. And I guess from immature, I'm not saying that this is what happens with him, but sometimes it happens in immature mindsets. We blame our fathers indirectly or subconsciously to say that, why are you allowing this to happen to me? I thought you were going to be the one to protect me from the realities of living in this life. The bottom line is, no one can be protected. We're all going to feel, the ebb and flows of living in this life. So, and no one can protect us from that. That could be part of it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I can see that, and that's what I'm saying. It's like when things don't go right with their way, they just quick to shit on the father, man. And,
Right.
and
Nah. I'm not jacking. I'm not jacking none of that bullshit. I'm not jacking that. It's 2022, about to be 2023. Listen to me, right? If somebody on this platform or somebody in the audience is a father of a kid and you having issues with your BM, then bro, you gotta have foundation. Understand this. I've been growing through a generation of like men raised by women, fathers being outside of listen to what I'm saying, bro. If you a man, if you a man outside, then you gotta be a man all the time. I don't give a shit what you're being putting you through, bro. Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do to be in tune with because all I'm hearing from Michael Fuller, respectfully, and Hannibal, is the mentality of like, oh, the mother. Well, what's the father doing, bro? The father I don't know what the conversation is about with the Romeo and Masterpiece shit. I don't know. But I know any emotions that the mother is going through shouldn't have no impact on Rome, because his father should have been there. It don't fucking matter.
But no, you didn't listen to the beginning of the show because
I didn't hear it, so I don't know what y'all talking about. But I'm just
Influence,
hearing,
maybe.
I'm just hearing the tone of what I'm hearing, and I only talk like this because I myself was faced with it. I went to go drop some diapers and a gallon of milk off, and I allowed the grandmother to shield my child from me on the other side of the screen door. I allowed it. Like, at the end of the day, as a man, as a father of your child, if that's your child, like, bro, can't nobody stop you, bro. Can't nobody stop you. Can't nobody get in the middle of that. If that means you gotta exclude the BM, find out where your child going to school at, and pop up on your child while he at school.
But no, Master P has been there. That's what we was talking about in the beginning. That's why I'm confused, because we have watched Master P raise his son on TV.
Yeah,
Now
but
all of a
what I'm
sudden,
telling you, Hannibal, what I'm telling you though, because y'all want to pin it on the mom. Oh, the mother, disgruntled baby mother might have had. Listen, man, if you're a father and you do what you're supposed to do, a disgruntled baby mother can't sway your child, bro.
well,
That's not
tell
necessarily true, though.
tell
That's
50
not
Cent.
necessarily true, though.
Let me say this. Let me say this,
How's that
because
not
a lot
true?
of black men like to put on this alpha mentality bullshit. Tell that to 50 Cent, his son. We saw 50 Cent raise his son, and look what happened.
Man, listen,
So
man.
this is why I'm glad we're having this conversation. But I get tired of black men with this alpha bullshit. At the end of the day,
Yo, you know what I
it's
get tired
you.
of? You know what
Listen,
I get
listen.
tired
It's
of? You
you.
know what
It's
I get
you
tired of?
against. It's you against her and her social safety net, plus
Yo,
her influencing the child.
yo,
And sometimes you got to cut your losses, B.
what?
So we not
No.
blaming, putting all the blame on her. I'm saying I'm confused. We're all confused about why this is happening. And
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is,
but y'all spreading the narrative. Yeah, but you spreading the narrative perpetuating a mentality from generations that from before. Let's set a new narrative now. That's what I'm saying.
No. Don't be dismissive of what has happened in the past and what's currently going on. That's the
No,
problem.
but what I'm
We
saying,
keep on
no,
dismissing stuff, and we want to be Superman about shit. Call it for what it is, bro.
It's your
We
child,
just
bro.
put
You're supposed to be Superman, bro. It's your child. It's your seed.
nobody. Okay, hey, y'all got it. I'm done. You got it.
Listen what I'm saying, Hannibal.
You got it.
Because I'm not Hannibal. Listen what I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying is that when we on panels and we talking about somebody who is currently going through this situation, I believe it is important that if he is to receive words from us, it should be words of, like, you can't be like, oh, this is something that's been perpetuating the black man in America because of the like, don't give him no out. There ain't no out. You out here having unprotected sex, spawning children.
That's not what we're talking about.
That's not what we talking. First of all, P has children.
My bad. I missed it.
We not talking about that, bro. We are basically saying we're confused why these two are at it with each other. And there's possibilities on why these two are going at it with each other.
I heard y'all.
We are not giving all the blame to his mother. When I came on here, I said maybe they going through it with each other because the passion of his sister, and it's taking a toll on him. That's what I said at first.
Okay. I didn't hear none of that. All I heard was like disgruntled baby mother this whole time. That's all I've been hearing.
Well, I mean, it goes back.
So
to
we can't dismiss everything. But go ahead, Fuller.
But
my bad, Hannibal. You know
I do think that the sister had a lot to do with their relationship, though. You know what I'm saying? I think that took a toll because I think he blames his dad for not putting more time into figuring out. So what?
The intervention. You're looking for the word to intervene.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think he's more mad about that. But what people gotta understand is, man, grown folks will do what the fuck they want to do, man. There's nothing you can do about a grown person doing what the fuck they want to do. But like, he thought that his dad could do something extra, but it's like, I can only do so much, man. I'm not gonna spread myself thin for no reason. You know what I'm saying? And I think he blamed his pops for the demise of his sister's suicide. And the thing that probably brought it back up to him was when he posted something about the dude that just committed suicide. And he just was like, nigga, that's hypocritical because my sister, you didn't do all you could for her. But then again, I'm saying to Romeo, like, nigga, maybe that's why he posted that, nigga, because of your sister. Because he felt like he needed to do something now. Like, he need to talk about it because that's something that hit home to him. But, it is what it is.
Yeah. Let me, can I say this real quick?
Yeah, hang in there, Monty. I got you coming in next.
This is the only thing I was going to say is I agree with that perspective. The only reason I brung up the whole thing that there's also a possible dynamic with the mother is because that happens a lot. Now, do I know that? No. Am I saying that happened in this case? No, I'm not. I'm just bringing up the fact that as we're brainstorming through the reasons why the relationship has gone sour, I think the most probable one is the one we spoke about with the loss of the daughter and the sister to drug addiction. So yeah, I think that's probably the main thing. But at the end of the day, there's a reason behind it, and we're just brainstorming about the possible reasons. That's it. That's what's going on.
I'll bring Monty in. Go ahead, Monty. Monty, you pulled yourself.
What up, though?
Hey, go ahead, dog.
I want to add this perspective. I was just thinking about what the brother was talking about. Let's talk about a show that we all watched and we're fans of, I'm sure, the show Power.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice how even in the show Power, the whole premise that was written in was Tariq, who was privileged, similar to Romeo, grew this hatred towards his father, which he really had no reason for, but a lot of that was stemming from what his mother was kind of putting in his head. I mean, and the show actually ended with him actually taking his father out, which made no sense at all because the father wanted him to be, you know, a scholar, put him in the best schools, but yet he wanted to be in the streets and things like that. When you think about this thing with Romeo, like one of the brothers was saying, it's not making any sense because Master P is from the projects of, you know, New Orleans, and he worked hard to put his family, his children in a position, and he did groom and put Romeo out there in the limelight and set a certain image about him. That was the only reason why Romeo ended up in Nickelodeon and stuff like that. I mean, there was no other rappers that were going mainstream outside of Reverend Run's family, when you think about it, that was able to actually get that crossover audience. So Master P was always thinking ahead, and I think he set his son up for that. But whatever's going on with him, you don't go and just disrespect your pops like that out in front of everybody, because now it's out there for the world to see it. And I can tell just as a father that when Master P shared what he shared, you know, he was hurt.
Yeah, he was hurt. He was hurt, man, without question.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey, Fred, I got a question. You said you trained Romeo, right?
For 3 years, yeah. Mm-hmm.
How good was he? In comparison to the fact that he played at USC.
He would have been a real good Division II basketball player.
My point exactly. There's nothing else to be said, right? So let's not assume, you know what I'm saying? Let's not assume that it's you know, I don't know. It shouldn't happen in the public, right? So I get there, but I feel like a lot of the assumptions that Michael Fuller admitted is happening right now, they all in like the negative vein. Maybe it could have been something else.
Okay, so all right, you mentioned my name quite a bit, brother. So
I fuck with you though, Mike. Don't get it twisted. I fuck with you. You my OG. So don't get it twisted.
Okay. I mean, you know, I just explained that the only reason I brought that up is that, you know, here's the thing, and different opinions are good, man. This is what people don't understand. And the diversity of thought, right? When you have diversity of thought in a group that's trying to come about with what the truth is, the diversity of thought is an asset, right? You don't want everyone thinking the same. So, I mean, when we come with different opinions, different aspects or opinions about what could be the cause of this, that's a good thing. You know, you evaluate it. If you think it's valid, then you take it on board. If not, you just appreciate the fact that you had a diverse thought and it could have led you closer to the solution of the problem. That's it. That's all it is, you know? Now, my perspective, I happen to think that a lot of times, and there's a historical precedent to it, man. When you look at, and I hate to take it, but you know, Hannibal alluded to this earlier. When you have to look at the historical aspects of the relationship that exists between black men and black women in this country, you have to. And you know, even though we don't want to open that can of worms. It's very important that we do that to understand what's going on with our family structures today. And you know, black women have always had to take on a position of matriarch in our families because of the systemic issues that existed between the black man and survival in this country in the environment that we're in. And you know, I think there was a latent animosity because they had to take that position initially because we could not protect them when they were raped, right? Repeatedly for centuries, right? We weren't able to protect them from that. So they ended up being protectors of the family from a certain aspect that we may not be agreeable with, you know, to feminize the male children so they wouldn't be attacked, sort of the things like that. So the point is that there's a historical precedence to it. And unfortunately, I believe our women began to revel in the idea of being matriarchs. Let me give you an example. My first wife, man. My first wife, when I was in the military, I was married for about 10 years. And that's when my only son is from that marriage. And her mother would come into town when we were, and her mother never had a husband. She had kids, but never had, she stabbed her husband, so he left, that sort of thing, right? I should have saw that and figured out something way back then before I made the decision. But anyway, I got a son out of it, so it was a good deal. So anyway, her mother would come out, and she would come out to dinner and everything, come out to visit us when we were stationed in different locations. And I remember when she would come in, we didn't have much then, but had a real nice, clean little spot, nice little dinner table. We lived in military housing at that time. It was nice. But I remember my wife would set my plate at the head of the table, right? So I could, and her and her mother would be on each side. And at that time, my son was an infant. He was real small, so he'd be in his baby chair. And I would get home from work. I'd go upstairs, come down after getting cleaned up. I'm getting ready to eat. And she'll be sitting in my damn chair. She's sitting at the head of the table. What I'm trying to tell you, man, is that there is a dynamic there that unfortunately exists, in the relationships between Black men and Black women that has historical precedence where our women are now masculine. They are more masculine than we would desire them to be, and they're taught by the society to minimize our position in the family or the importance of our position in the family. And so, unfortunately, that happens. That is the case, and that's the norm.
I'm gonna bring in Zoe. Let me bring in Zoe so he can add, and then let's talk about the money, like y'all perspective on what happened with the money. Go ahead, Zoe.
What's the deal with you?
Hey, nothing much. Waiting on you. What's up?
Man, I just wanted to say, my take on that. I don't think Romeo lying and nothing like that. I don't think he lying on his father. I don't, what might be the reality from the outside looking in could be different from what's going on, but within the business and within the family and all that type of stuff. I just feel like that's more so for their private, the private thing. That's not for the world. I just didn't. I just don't think that people should go against, their parent. For something like that, that's something private. I don't think that they should. Romeo should have really went there with him. Like if I had an issue with my parents or whatever the case may be, never really experiencing parents that are in the public eye. But I just think that Romeo probably should have either went to Master P or just left him alone. Just don't talk to your father for a little bit, and let yourself calm down. And come to him at a later date. But to put that business out and to say, to say what's going on with the finances and the things that happen, that's just something for for privacy. Like even truth be told, even though people sided with Kobe, I thought that was like a weak ass move by Kobe when he put that thing out about his parents. That just wasn't for everybody. And people kind of sided with Kobe for that for whatever their reasons was. But I thought he was wrong. I thought Michael Jackson was kind of wrong for some of the stuff he said about his father. I just feel like your parents, unless they really did molestation, really had you in a situation of destitution and despair, or was just there, and was really just real foul. I just feel like if you just had some decent parents, like all parents make mistakes. Nobody's perfect, and things happen. But like to go there, it just I wasn't feeling Romeo on that. That's all I wanted to say.
Anyone, Kyle? You want to respond?
Damn, I
Nah,
forgot what I was about to say, man. I was about to
Oh,
come on right after Fuller Bazo said something. I forgot what I was about to say, man. But now go ahead.
yeah, I
So
really don't like when people do this public shit anyway, though, bro. It's like keep the shit off the internet, man. Like nobody, because then when y'all get back together and be friends again, and you know what I mean, then y'all look dumb. You know what I'm saying? I just think you need to keep shit private, bro. And my thing is, bro, don't wait until he posts something. You know what I mean? You waiting until you go, oh, you hypocrite, this and that. You know what I'm saying? If you had a problem with the money, you should have been said something. Well, all of a sudden you said something now, but I don't know, man. You had a whole opportunity not to need your father as far as monetary wise, and you still out there begging. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah, I was
don't
about
know.
to say that part. Yeah, that money part is I'm confused on that too. But also too, like this the thing, like before his sister passed away and Master P daughter passed away, Master P was already dealing with internal issues with the family with their mother. See, we don't know what Master P has been going through these years, and we know what he was going through with their moms. And now I'm not about to bring it up, but that's sad right there. This man had changed her life, and look how she was treating him, and look at what she did, and look what she was demanding from him after she messed her life up, after he didn't gave her a good life. So it's a lot going on in that, and like Michael said, yeah, the mother, I think she do got something to do with this too. But it's
Based
also
off
the
what though?
sister,
so
but it's
so
also the sister
Based off
passing
what
too,
though?
and everything had
so
just boiled up, and now they just
But
it's
based
spilling
off
out.
what though? The mother got
so
something to do with it. Based off what?
so if you go on Double XL magazine right now regarding Romeo, they got an article, and the poem that he posted called "The Tree of Trauma," it does include his mother and his siblings in it. So what the brother was saying about the mother having something to do with it, it's actually in there. I'm gonna go ahead and drop a link to that for you all to check it out.
Yeah, 'cause I just want to refresh people memories. Like I think in the early 2000s, the mother and father was getting into it. She was demanding crazy amounts of money. He divorced her, and she still wanted more money. And look how she turned out. And you don't think Romeo is not mad about that? You think I'm pretty sure he want his mother and father till this day to be together, but he got to grow up and understand those two adults, and they made their decision. You need to go make your own family and stop worrying about keeping this family intact.
Mr. Henderson.
Yeah, it's just weird because there's elements to what Hannibal just said that I agree with, right? I would be like, yeah, I agree with you. There's elements even with Dr. Fuller is saying that I would agree with. But I feel like if we get back to the man of the scenario, the father of the scenario, like I guess maybe it's just all in how you parent. I don't know, right? You're speculating about another human being, right? Who knows? Maybe they all did some fucked up shit. Maybe Master P did some fucked up shit. Maybe his wife is justified for seeking the money based off of whatever the fuck, right? I mean, it's happening in the public, so for some reason people want to speculate on it. But regardless, like mistakes happen, you know what I'm saying? And I just feel like the way that we parent today, based off of how parenting happened earlier in generations, I feel like, man, we should be a lot smarter in this scenario, that to where if there is like no kid should be able to pick a side. Like if you have a kid and you divorce the mother or whatever, like your position within your kid's life should validate and substantiate anything you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, your kid should be able to speak for you. There's no room for sides because the child's involved. You just got to do the right thing. And any narrative about any woman being able to spin a narrative, all right, cool. So that's a fact. All right. Dr. Fuller, I get a lot of I respect you because of your education and the historicity of, things that you speak about. But how do we handle it today? We speak on like how the man should act, right? Like that's the root of it. We ain't even got to bring up the baby mom. It's all about how a man should act with his child, whether he's with the mother or not.
Right.
Let's bring in Let's Talk Truth. Zoe, you want to respond, and then I'll bring in Let's Talk Truth.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say, I mean, I understand what the black men are saying on the panel, but I'm trying to really understand like what the mama got to do with that. You know what I mean? Like, I know he mentioned the mother or whatever he said, but it's like, for the most part, again, from us from the outside looking in, Master P has had a very what's the word, patriarchal way in which them kids was brought up. I mean, like I said, I understand what people said. I heard the gentleman speak about the historical relationship and all of that, but I mean, I don't know if a lot of that is true, because if you look at all those generations where where you had family, where we had our fathers, as they say, all of them, it was people that was rebellious against their father. And I mean, like, I don't, when the family unit was intact, that was never like wasn't perfect. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I think he's just a grown man with that they mother. I've never really seen a lot with their mother. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as guidance and as far as that, to me, they always been up under their father. And it's like I said, man, you gonna have problems. I think some of the stuff is so skewed, but you gonna have that. I don't know. You just gonna have problems with your parents, man. Like, I know that we dealing with a thing where black women and black men are beefing, but I don't know. I can't really put his mama in that. You know what I'm saying? That's something he said that's in between them that shouldn't have been out there. He shouldn't have spoke on. But that's something between them, I think. I don't think the mama got nothing to do with that.
I didn't say that as a matter of fact, and again, I'll repeat, I'm not saying as a matter of fact. I'm just saying as we brainstorm through the possible reasons why that happened, because I mean, it's obviously something that's odd, because Master P really did a lot for his son. I mean, he sent his son to USC, man. I mean, how many fathers do that? How many black fathers do that?
Right,
so
right.
What I'm saying is that the fact that they're having the issue, it's got to be something. So that's all we do. We're just brainstorming. That's it. And
just brainstorming. And I just want to say one thing too. I'm not gonna put this out there, but y'all need to go find out why y'all never saw their mother in the public eye. Let's go look that up, please. And it wasn't massive. Well, it was his decision, but it was the right decision. So,
all right, Let's Talk Truth too. What's up?
Hey, he kept his wife out the public eye because the life that he was living. And despite Master P being a good father, being a good dad, despite all the good that he done for Romeo and the bond and relationship they have, Romeo got a bond with his mother. Romeo made that clear to the whole world many times in many different interviews, that how much he loved his mother, how much he respect his mother. If I was in the shoes of these celebrities and these rich people, I wouldn't have my wife in the light either. I wouldn't have my family and my kids in the public eye, because the public society of the people can be dangerous, for celebrities and stuff like that. Despite the relationship and the bond, like I say, that Master P got with his son, the scriptures teaches us about these hard times. The scriptures teaches us about these trials and tribulations that's about to come up on us. Matthew 10, verse 34 through 36. And I'm not a saint. I'm not a perfect person. I'm just a 49-year-old, a young 49 that's familiar with knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and education. And Master P, these trials and tribulations, these hard times is about to prove who is who and who is not. These last days, you don't get to say who you are anymore. You don't get to paint that picture. You don't get to wear the mask anymore. The mask is questionable now. And these hard times is finna tell us whether if Master P is who he say he been all these years and all this time. If these hard times is finna tell us who is who and who is not. And more than half the human population can't handle that. People don't like education. They don't like knowledge. They don't want to learn. They waiting on the preacher to teach it to them. The school teacher, they waiting on somebody else to teach you something you're supposed to be getting off your ass and learning yourself. And the scripture also teaches us the reason why we don't have a lot of answers to a lot of these topics that's floating around all across the globe and all over social media is because people don't read. You don't like to read. You don't want to do your homework. You dropped out of school, or you probably quit, or whatever your reason is for why you don't have any education, knowledge, wisdom, understanding. That's why you don't know what's going on. You don't read.
Hey, I got you next, L. You know what's funny is in addition to boxing, I listen to they say it's called Conscious Community. And I was listening to a guy, right? And I said to him, I said, I don't need your advice. I got the Bible. I need your modeling. Like, show me your modeling. Don't tell me your advice and this great idea. No. Show me in real life. I need to see it.
Right.
I need to see it in practice, dog, because we got too many advice geniuses on this internet thing, man. And really, people can be anything they want to be. Listen, you know what I mean? So
and people, I've had people, I agree with what you just said. I have over 4,000 pictures and videos of the success I've been getting with my wife and my kids. Sometimes I put the stuff up, then sometimes I take it down. I do motivational speakings. I work with the youth. Picture proof, video proof of what I do. And I volunteer. So what he just said is powerful. And then, you got a lot of brothers and sisters who haven't went to school to get this knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and education, but you're on social media trying to teach somebody something. My definition of the word media, MEDIA, most effective devil in America. Y'all be good, man. Be kind to yourself and be kind to each other, but I'm out of here, man.
Good night, bro. Thank you for coming through. Go ahead, Al.
Hey, great discussion, man. I like what that brother just came on and said, man. He spoke a lot of insightful words, man, and a lot of
this.
What up, Cass?
Oh.
Yeah, it's quite funny, man. A good friend of mine, man, he sent me a link, and we kind of discussed over text messages this same topic, and I kind of get it from both angles, man. In essence and in conclusion of all things, yes, this should have been a family matter that should have stayed in-house, and it should have stayed in-house only because of the fact that Master P has business dealings, and this could potentially harm his business dealings with those he conduct business with. But with that being said, there's a problem that exists in that family, especially between that father and that son, a problem that money can't fix. So when it's emotional trauma that's involved, man, you got to give attention to it. And anytime a family fails, I don't care what the problem is, whatever the angle, I don't care. If the family fails, in my eyes, it's the father's fault. Point blank, period. I don't care if the mama's a bitch, if she acting crazy, whatever the case is, homie. I'm dying for mine. I'm riding for mine to the end. Nigga, fuck the judge, fuck the system. Nigga, God got me. You get what I'm saying? When it come to me and my kids and my family, I'm gonna do the utmost. So I've never understood why any man would fail a family, or even why he allowed his family to fail. So with that being said, man, I listened to what Romeo said, man, and I don't have no cause or reason to believe that he was lying about anything. Sometimes you gotta go outside of the norm to get somebody attention. And to me, it seemed like it got his attention because he made a public statement. Now, I didn't read the public statement. I just seen the little post that said he came out publicly with an apology and I guess an explanation to what Romeo, came out and said. And yeah, he definitely got his daddy attention because I know that he said he had spoke to his father many times about this. And I guess it didn't mean nothing till he put his public image on the line because he like, I know my daddy like his public image more than he probably loved correcting the trauma that's inside of this family. So I've seen this a lot in Black homes, a lot of times, especially from the generation previous, like my mother, my father, their sisters and brothers in their generation, they kind of raised us to be like, yeah, they was good parents. They did a lot of good things, but a lot of those folks in that generation, the trauma that was passed on to them that they didn't deal with, they passed it on to us and was basically like, yeah, we wrong about it, but y'all don't say nothing about it. Nah, nigga, we're going to talk about y'all wrongs. Like, let's talk about y'all wrongs because I know who y'all are now. Like, everything comes to a head. And my thing is, a lot of times you can't talk to these older people about their wrongs. But these are the same wrongs that they tried to tell you that you couldn't do. You get what I'm saying? Now that we see what it is and what it was, let's talk about it because that shit affected me, but I had to stay quiet for a long time. I had to shrink myself to make you feel better for your insecurities and your problems. Like kids, man, kids hold on to a lot of shit, but because they kids are deemed strong and they got the capacity to deal with that because God give them that light, the parents sometimes feel like, yeah, my kid can just deal with it. Nah, your kid dealing with a lot of shit, but your kid just trying not to make you feel bad. And a lot of times parents just don't have the, I guess, the balls or just being a man enough or a woman enough to just admit to your wrongs, and that shit just get passed on from generation to generation, man. And that's why our family structure is so fucked up. Somebody gotta come out and say, nigga, I'm not standing for this. Anybody that's still pushing this shit getting cut off and thrown into the fire. Point blank period. Niggas ain't coming with me no more with that bullshit. And somebody gotta say something about this shit. So I feel Romeo with what he said because it seemed real heartfelt, and I felt that shit on a lot of levels.
I haven't seen what you're talking about in regards to. He came out with some specific.
Yeah, it was a poem that he wrote called the Tree of Trauma, or Trauma's Tree, or something like that. And he was just basically, expressing himself about, the pain that he saw his mother go through and stuff like that.
Okay. So that's what it's about. It's about
his mother. And I feel what El is saying. It is a lot of trauma being passed on, and I've said this to older people myself that a lot of stuff that y'all doing went unchecked, and it's time for it to get checked.
Real
so
shit.
Don't worry about. And I hear what Cal said, but sometimes people do got to put it on the internet. So what if that person get back together, whatever? But if you're not listening to me when I'm in your face, you gonna listen when I put it out there.
Yeah, exactly. Something got to get your attention, and something, like I said, sometimes you got to go outside of the norm to get a person's attention. See, I believe like this, and I always believe like this. Like, it's crazy because, I didn't deal with a lot of women, man. Like, I'm talking about hundreds of women. Like, whether I'm fucking them, whether we just talking, or sometimes I used to just like interacting with women just because it was just a chance for me to just derive more information and more knowledge about women, like, cause I love women.
Same here. Same here.
So I did this, and I just wanted to see where the climate, where the thinking was at, because women, things go in waves, trends, and you know, and patterns, you know. So I just wanted to see where after I had divorced my ex-wife, after we kind of, and I knew it was over with, I said, man, I want to get back in the game and see where the mindset of women is at. And I realized that all the chicks that I was going to school with, some of the past chicks that I had known, they all had kids. So my thing was like, yeah, I still mess around with some of them, but to start a family, it's probably not going to happen. But let me see where their mindset's at. And I realized this was the overall thinking of the mass population of women, especially Black women. Do you know that the idea of co-parenting was far more ideal than being in a relationship and having a 2-parent home? Like,
yeah, that's more important.
Women that I would talk to would be like, man, if we had kids, then, you know, they already start talking about co-parenting. And it fucked my mind up, like, damn, bitch, we need to be talking about making it work.
Or 50-50 relationship.
Why do you think that is?
Because people have got so, like, my thing is like this. I'm a thinker, man. I love exercising my brain power, man, and just feeding my brain. And
Mental you like participating in mental gymnastics, right?
At the highest level.
Okay, go ahead.
So
I'm joking with you.
So I've noticed that just people's mental aptitude is so low, and like the bar and the standard for excellence is just like, it's not even strive for it, yet let alone trying to attain it. You know, it's not even something that people strive for, man. But the point I'm trying to make is, I'm like this. I've always felt like this, and I've always told my mother, you know, my siblings, man, for 18 years, I want to be with the woman that I make kids with. Even if we might not be making love no more. If it come to that, I hope it never do. But I'm just saying, man, we're gonna show our kids what a family structure looks like. A mother and a father that love one another. Fuck my pride. Fuck your pride. Fuck the problems that exist. Let's fix this shit so we won't pass this shit on to them. Because they not supposed to be a product of our flaws, or a product of our failures. They supposed to be whatever we have in us that's the best of us. That's what we should give our kids. We shouldn't give our kids our failures, our flaws, our insecurities, our mishaps. Fuck all that. And anytime you break the family mold, man, it's over with, homie. It's another generation lost. Period.
Wow. That's real. That's real. Hey, let me ask you a question. Why do you think those women had that aspect, or
hey, Mike,
they wanted co-parenting more than they wanted?
Hold L.
Go ahead.
I really want Mr. Fuller to answer that, because I got a feeling I know what that I got a feeling I know what you think he about to say. But if I flip it right back,
I'm gonna tell you like this though.
Men being men will eliminate that, bro.
That's where I was getting to. Like, I had this conversation with my cousin all the time, which is really like my brother, man. All a man gotta do is be a man. If you be a man at all times, you're gonna win, homie. And it's like this.
Cook,
what'd you say, brother?
I said, go ahead and cook, brother.
I'm telling you, when you just be a man, you gonna win, homie. You cannot lose. God tell you you cannot lose being a man, homie. I don't care what's in front of you. See, understand this. See, this is what cats gotta understand, man. Women in society is gonna always follow the lead that's dictated by the man. You got women in this society that want to be players. They want to try to be like men and have a lot of different, you know, like men have a lot of women. They want to have a lot of men's booze, tricks, or whatever. But they realize that they not made for it, and they fail tremendously. But why do they act like that? because a lot of times we leave them with no other option. It doesn't matter how stupid they are. Just be a man, homie. If you be a man, a woman's nature is gonna subject herself to you. She cannot control her innate qualities, homie, and tendencies. A woman cannot control that.
Man, a lot of these girls is masculine though, bro. A lot of these hoes are too
But you
masculine,
gotta understand this. They was brought up in a situation a lot of times where they had a.
Hold on. They only masculine. Kyle, no, they're not. No, they not. They just ain't ran into the right male, bro. No, they not.
The thing is, it's not that they not masculine, right? They're not masculine at all. They are able to do what the hell they want to do.
Exactly.
I'm not mad at that. See, and this is the problem. A lot of men need to just leave them alone. Stop being their friends.
That's the fact right there.
Stop. And I know people gonna disagree with me. Listen, black women can't even be friends with each other. What makes you think that you're her friend?
Girls can't be friends, period. But go ahead.
I had to tell a family member, I said, you know what? Y'all women are so damn phony. I said, it's the reason why when y'all become 35 and older, y'all don't have female friends. Only friend that you have is your husband or your boyfriend. Because when y'all pretty and hot and y'all out there doing y'all things in y'all 20s, y'all too busy bickering with each other, too busy fighting, putting hands on each other. Y'all too busy having sex with each other's man. Y'all too busy gossiping. Then once y'all get older and it looks faded, then y'all don't want to deal with each other no more because y'all phony. Y'all don't know how to be friends. And a lot of men need to stop talking to women who are in relationships. It doesn't matter if she's about to divorce that man. It doesn't matter if she's about to break up with that man. Stop talking to her. That's not your woman.
That's a fact, man. I agree with that. Only 100%. Women gonna only do what men.
So I agree with you. What you saying, L? Be a man at all times. I had to tell because people be looking at me like, dude, you got some issue with women. No woman on this planet is my friend. Only friend that I have that's a woman, that's my mother. That's it. I got sisters, I got cousins. I don't go outside searching for female friends. I may say, hey, what's up? How you doing? Whatever. Talk, we joke or whatever. I don't want to get intimate with you about nothing because it's going to lead to sex at the end of the day. And if it don't lead to sex, we still going to be sitting here in the back of our mind like, damn, I'm just waiting for us to have sex one day.
And go ahead, Mike, and I'll ask you guys about the money.
No, go ahead.
No, I was literally going to ask y'all, what do you think the business dealings is with P and Rome, as it pertains to Rome saying that he was broke and he never got a check?
He might have his daddy might have cut his access to financial help off. That might be included in this, in this action. But I think this was bigger than money though, man. Romeo is good on his own, I believe, man. He still got access to Hollywood, but it's bigger to me. It seemed like it from the words that he spoke, man. This is bigger than money.
Do you think that he abused his powers as maybe, like, I don't know what you call it, a manager, power of attorney? Anybody want to chime in on that?
Who, Master P? You think?
Yes.
Oh, of course. I got a great deal of respect for Master P. Always have. How he always did his thing. To me, he's a genuine brother, but everybody has a flaw, man. And sometimes if we don't correct those flaws, everything comes to a head. And this just might be his flaw right here. And it's not a grave one, and it's not a great one that it's not great and grave enough that it can't be corrected. Sometimes we get ahead of ourselves. You get what I'm saying? And he may have gotten ahead of himself because of his status and his position based on the wealth he's acquired, and kudos to him. But I think you should always give attention to your kids, homie. I don't care what the situation is. You always give attention to your kids.
How is he broke though?
Who's
Well,
broke?
Go ahead, God. I'm sorry, brother.
Go ahead, Mr. Henderson.
Who's broke? Fred?
Rome.
You saying he broke right now?
Rome. Yeah.
Oh. Well.
What standards though?
I mean, he says he's broke. Like I mean, in comparison to what he believed he's made versus his quality of life, it's all relative to us as well.
Yeah, so they be killing me talking about I'm broke. No, you not, man. Just say you owe some money.
I feel you though. Like that's the and that's why I don't really want to talk about the financials, because I don't want to say on one hand, I don't know Master P, man. So as a logical thinker, I'm forced to assess and give respect to at the end of the day, it's possible. It's possible. I remember I went to open up my first bank account, and the teller was asking me about a bill that was in my name. I didn't even know what? I'm a kid. What do you mean bills? But a bill was in my name, my social and everything. So on one hand, it's like maybe he wouldn't do it, but maybe he did. But just like El said, we can't get too far afield to where we start taking the humanistic element out of human beings. You know what I'm saying? Man or female. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Master P did slip up, but shit, I don't know. He's selling cereal right now and ramen noodles.
Yeah, I know. Money solves a multitude of sins, though. You know what I'm saying? I know it's covers a multitude of sins. I know we got a lot of branches on this tree. I don't know what the root is, but you got the sister dying. You have him saying a tumultuous relationship between him and the mother, and you got a young man who's been working since he was a kid, and now he's saying that the money's funny and dad is living an image and he loves social media and
it's rough, bro, because it's happening on, shit. Let's be real. Let's keep it all the way 1,000. Like at this point, that's what he got to do. That's his voice is just big enough. And his father is who he is, that it'll make noise. Like I just told you, Master P selling cereal and noodles. I ain't mad at nobody. Get your hustle, you know what I'm saying? But we long far from No Limit Records. You know what I'm saying? We far away from No Limit Records. And honestly, Romeo's musical success or relevancy wasn't, it is what it is. So, but it's unfortunate it had to come to the internet though. I think that's corny. I think that's corny that it had to come to the internet for people to speculate on what's what. But I also know, like El said, sometimes you got to go through extreme measures, and like it looked like his father hurt him. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna sit down now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they said that also in the thing that he used his money to pay the taxes, pay his dad taxes.
Yeah, I didn't hear what Romeo said, or what he put in the media, but I did listen to what Master P was saying, and so that I didn't hear exactly what his son put in the media, so I'm not sure exactly what he said. But El, let me go back and ask you this question again. Why do you think 80-90% of the women that you dealt with were where the co-parent than have a family?
You said the last part. Say it again, brother. The 90% of women
you mentioned that 80-90% of the women that you ran into after you were divorced, sowing your royal oats or whatever you want whatever, however you want to deem it. You said that 90% of those women would talk to you about co-parenting instead of, being in a marriage.
I again, now that I was in a certain mindset, I understand that my mindset that I carried at that time and my perspective is also what attracted me to a certain set of women, and the things in which I looked for and how I had, our perspective guides us on the journey we take, on the path that we tread. Once I changed my the way I perceive things and my perception, then I attract a different type of energy. But that still doesn't discredit that there's a great deal of women out here that have the wrong mindset and outlook on family life.
So why
and to answer your question specifically, as I stated earlier, the men that have failed these women in their life in whatever capacity is the reason why they think and feel the way they do. Because you got to understand, as a man, we are created leaders. A woman don't have but this much leadership ability, and that's just enough to know that she got a pussy and to clean it. That's really what it is, homie.
Okay,
they don't have.
Let me ask you this: do you think it's a function of the major forcing function in that is that men have failed them, or is it that their definition of success is thwarted, is twisted?
Again, it all falls back to I don't care where you find a woman at in her life. Her being in that position in some capacity, whatever you can lead it back to a man, homie. You right. Start talking to her, you start getting into her mind, you start getting into her heart, and she start, telling you all her feelings and thoughts, and you make an assessment and from an analytical point of view, you're gonna see that somewhere along the line, a man either made her or made her or broke her.
Here's what I'll say, man. Every single time that you see something like that a woman has that perspective, she walks away from a relationship. It's not because she wasn't with a good man, or she wasn't with a man that was quote unquote.
No, you're right. I'm not saying this. I'm not saying. But watch this though. Even if it's some women out here that just total fuck ups, but then you holler at her and you see
there's more of them than you want to think.
Right.
No, it is. But if you go back to the root cause and see where she developed that perception and that way of thinking, it's usually because she didn't have a father. I'm gonna tell you like this: more bad women and no good ass women fall into the hands of good men than actually good women.
Yeah, you're right.
So
you're right about that.
Again, if you go back to the root cause, it's because they didn't have a father. Man, I start look.
Yeah, I agree.
Decision making.
As I start getting more refined and tuned in this game, as it involves women, man, I start realizing it's a certain type of woman that I don't want nothing to do with, and it's a certain type of woman that has nothing to offer me. I don't care what she has, how fine she is, how good her pussy or head is. I don't care about none of that. I stopped thinking about any of that, man, because I start realizing, man, it's a cycle, homie. And it's
I ain't
all
gonna lie,
the
the
same.
head up there. We ain't gonna do that. The head up there.
What happened?
You said it's a cycle?
What'd you say, Mr. Henderson?
No, I can't repeat.
No, he wild. And you wild. He said.
What'd he say, dog? I missed it.
He's talking about the head game, but nah, keep going, man.
No, I'm saying because this a lot of, but I'm just saying though, for me, that's what got me a lot of times because I was a sex addict. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes I would be in a situation just because I like that aspect of it, but that was it. That was all, and I realized I wasted a great deal of myself and a good portion of myself to women that just didn't deserve. Look, this the crazy thing. This how I used to think. I used to think like this. There is no woman that can deny me. There is no woman that can give me an opportunity. And I felt if I really want any woman, I felt like I'm gonna crack her.
I have that attitude too.
But then I realized this, man, every woman ain't for me because every woman don't deserve me. Like, why would I give my good self to a woman of no value? Like, it's just pointless and senseless, man. And it's the same thing on the other end with women. You know, we give ourselves to people that we fill cups that can never fill ours. That, you know, it's no interchange there. So, but going back to your point though, Mike, it all stemmed back from a man, homie. Like I'm about to have a daughter now, so it's like I gotta teach her what's right and what to expect and what type of expectations to have with a man. I gotta prepare her to be somebody's wife, homie. And she gotta understand what kind of man she is supposed to even get that opportunity to.
Church.
And when that man see her, he's supposed to be able to see that she's shining so bright and there's so much good coming out of this woman, so much knowledge, so much game that he gonna be able to identify, I must be right by her.
Church.
I must be right by her. You get what I'm saying? Like a woman leads that kind of energy, man, because a man only do what a woman aligned to. And a woman that's worthy and knows she worthy, homie, I don't care who you are, homie. You could be the coldest Mac in the game. He gonna know I gotta deal with this one different, homie.
Yo, Fred, L needs some sound effects. L needs some funk flex bombs, yeah?
I don't have it. I ain't got. How's that?
Right.
Thank you.
You know,
But,
I just
man, I don't agree with that.
I want Mary. Listen. Y'all crazy, man.
Yeah. We do need to, as he said, raise our kids because money ain't the solution to the integrity and how you and what you embed into your children. Because I hate to use the example, but fuck it. Floyd Mayweather's daughter should be in college right now. She twerking for attention on the internet. You know, had a baby, was the 6th, 7th, 8th baby mama by a rapper. You know, and she's the heir of a multi-million. She will get a multi-million-dollar inheritance, and her lack of disciplines and lack of integrity, she may not get it. You know, it may go to someone else, and two, she may wash it. So I think that the behaviors got to be aligned with even if you don't believe in God. I would say even if you're an atheist, I think the Bible is still a really good book to draw a foundation from. Just read it as a book for information, and I think it serves well to help and fulfill those promises that belong to a woman, you know, as it pertains to raising her to be a wife and etc. And she's on probation. God damn. And she's on probation. So and this is I remember what I was gonna say, but I'll talk after Champion Heart because that wouldn't be fair. Go ahead, Champ.
What's up, my brothers? Salute to you, man.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah. All right. What's up, all my brothers in the on the panel in the chat, man? Salute to y'all. Man, I catching the tail end of this. That's disappointing to see the situation with little Romeo and Master P. Originally, when I saw it, I had only saw a certain video until I saw this other one. But originally, I was like saying that, you know, Little Romeo was really coming off like a spoiled brat. But until I got other information, then I began to realize that, you know, Fred, you always say that, you know, you have to be a father, married in a relationship. It doesn't mean that just because you're married and you're in that relationship, it doesn't make you a good father. It doesn't make you a good parent. You know, a lot of those relationships are trauma filled. And I witnessed that. You know, my uncle, he was married, had his kids, but he was a tyrant. You know, he had his family walking around on eggshells, you know. And so that's, you know, that's the, I think you guys negate to speak on that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like when you're in a relationship that's not working, you know, but yet you stay and you're actually causing trauma to, you know, to that other individual because you really don't want to be there. You know, I agree with a lot of what you were saying, but I got to disagree with this point here. When you were saying that when you're in a relationship and you're with that woman to make it work, you have to understand you can't take your kids for granted. You know, kids see when a relationship is not working. You know what I'm saying? And what happens is, you know, we think that, you know, we're staying in it just for the child. Well, that's actually causing more harm than good, because what you're actually teaching that child is that you have to stay in a broken relationship no matter what. So what ends up happening is that she ends up getting with a guy and he's abusing her, but you've shown her you have to stay in this relationship and make it work when he's abusing her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I didn't mean it to that extent. What I was saying.
I understand that, but that's exactly what you're showing her. You know, the thing is that, you know, of course you don't mean to show her that, but that's exactly what because kids, they see you sleeping in another bedroom. You know, they see you all arguing about little bitty things, you know, pass me the salt shaker. Next thing you know, that's an argument. You know what I'm saying? That's because, you know, you two aren't vibing anymore and you're actually forcing that relationship and you're forcing it in front of the kids. There are a lot of relationships like that and kids see that. So that's actually causing more harm than it is good. Whereas parents think, you know, we're staying together just for the children. We're trying to make this family work for the children when you're actually causing more harm.
Now watch this though, champ. Watch this. If, let's say, for instance, you know, you guys break up in hopes that you guys save your children from the trauma. This was gonna follow that. A new problem gonna exist. Daddy, mama, I want y'all to be together. I don't want you to be with this guy. I don't want you to be with this woman. You're gonna run into a whole nother problem. My thing is like this. That's why I said you should work it out. Like, I'm not gonna, if that was to ever happen, God forbid, because that's never what I want, and that's not what I'm pushing for. I'm gonna have a happy environment in my home. That's for me to do. See, a woman gonna argue with you and make problems with you as long as you leave that door open for her to do so. See, that's why I say just be a man, homie. If you be a man, you cannot lose, man. That's my thinking. Because I believe, man, I believe when God tell me, homie, just feed your family and take care of your business and I'm gonna bless you. He not gonna fail you. He ain't never failed me, man. He ain't never failed me for putting forth an action for my family, whether it's the family I created or the family I was brought here with. Anything I ever did, any effort I ever made for my family, homie, he blessed me, regardless. So it's upon the man. And my thing is like this: if you know you a man and you about to court a woman and y'all about to have, you know, consensual, unprotected sex, and you know there's a possibility of you impregnating, and you know this woman is not gonna be a fit for you to raise a family with, that's your mistake. That's the man's mistake. That's
Yeah.
not like we got so much power as see a lot of men today don't understand truly what it is to be a man because they never seen an example of a man. Like they never even look like and this is not even if you wasn't raised with a man. See, some people look to see what a man and they try to find what a man look like. And you gonna find what you looking for. A lot of men don't know how to be men nowadays, man. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I see a lot of cats in this society, man, especially amongst our people. These dudes are not men. I tell people don't even call them if we conversing about them. Don't call them niggas men to me, homie, because that take on a whole different meaning. Nigga can't be called a man, and if I see a nigga that's a subpart, way less than a man, like he a female or a bitch, and a nigga calling him a man and he calling me a man, I'm gonna check him about it, homie, because you ain't looking in the right lens if you can see me and him as the same. And a lot of us dealing with that in our and I'm not one of them bigger than me, better than me, you niggas. I'm not one of them niggas, homie. I'm just saying in our society, homie, we got a lot of weak men in the black community, man. And it's not cool.
I would agree with that. And the reason I would agree with that is because I don't know who said it, but I think it was Hannibal saying that you couldn't be friends with females. That's not necessarily true, brother. I got a lot of my game from having female friends. And back to what you were saying,
you get game from men. Women mimic men, but I mean that's a whole different topic. But you know, I hear a lot of men say that, and I'm like, all right, whatever, because I've been around a lot of women, and women, I heard women regurgitate what another man then told her. So,
well, you have to be mature in a relationship and not think with a little head. You can be friends with a female.
But I'm just keeping it a buck. If women can't be friends with themselves,
I get what you're saying, and that's true. I do get what you're saying.
And this is why I don't understand why a lot of dudes be having all these female friends, because you have to sometimes you all just need to sit back and stop trying to be friends with them and let them run their mouth.
Right.
And you will see that they are using a lot of these dudes. And these dudes is waiting on the sideline to get some box from them. And that's why I say you really can't be friends with them.
After you finish, I gotta go because I gotta say something.
Well, that's true in some cases, but not in all cases. I always joke about starting a rent-a-husband business because I get a lot of I get a lot of calls, you know, from friends who need stuff, you know, who need things done because like Elle was saying, you know, a lot of these cats, man, don't know how to do stuff. You know what I'm saying? Don't know how to put a bill. I mean, just little things, you know. And I'm talking to my friends, and I'm like, "How is it you got to do it?" And he doesn't even know how to put a flat screen on the wall.
Hold on. Okay, so let me say this to you. Let me say this to you though, because that's cool what you do. If a woman has a man and he don't know how to do things for her as a man, I'm not gonna give her the opportunity to call me to pick up his slack. And this is what I'm saying. That has to stop with men. If her father or her brothers can't do the stuff for her, or her husband can't do it, I'm not obligated to jump in. And we're not going to build a relationship like that, because she should be having that relationship with her husband, boyfriend, or the men in her family.
That's a great
And this
point.
and this is why I'm saying you're not her friend. Stop letting them use you. But you all keep, I mean, I don't really care. Y'all do what y'all do. I'm 35 and I watch this been going on since I was a child. And I said to myself, why would I subjugate myself like that? I don't care what y'all do, but I'm gonna make a change, because Elle said women do what they do because men aren't being men. So when you think this woman is being a player, she want to do this, it's because we letting them do these things and it's going unchecked. And it needs to stop. And it's nasty, because why would I want to talk to some woman who claims she a player and she out here with multiple bodies under her pantyhose?
Let
But you know, I'm done. Y'all let y'all go.
let
Great point.
Kyle go. He got to go. Go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah, go ahead, Kyle.
Oh, he gone anyway.
Oh,
I
he
would,
got.
do you want to respond to him, champ?
Go ahead. I'll let you. I'll
Okay.
let you go. Then I'll come back.
Thanks. I would say this when dealing with you said the parents that are basically doing it for the kids and not getting married. If you look at it on a macro level, and this is just an eye test for me as I look back to my teaching experience, that's a more concentrated audience in terms of what I'm pulling from. But it was damn near 10 out of 10 in my class. Like damn near every kid in my room didn't have two parents, you know. Like I said, every kid in my class was on probation, you know, and or parole, probation, either the two. And I would say this, according to my eye test, being in the hood and living in the hood, growing up in the hood, two parents, whether it's logistical or love, supersedes single parent households.
Man.
You know, it's night and day. And the reason why I can literally stand on it, and this is just a one-on-one experience, I can use my life as the example. You know, I can literally see myself like Dre and I been down 20 all of 2000, basically all of this 23rd century. What is it, 22nd century? Is this the 22nd century or 21st century?
21st.
Oh, thank
21st.
Oh, but I can literally see myself, especially early on, you know, shedding myself of all this BS and estrogen and feminine energy and from not respecting authority to respecting authority, me having a fake perception of what masculinity is to now I would say a very masculine man. Me going from thinking that women are objects to now they're human, and I've literally seen Dre grow into this feminine being, and she's always been feminine, like always. She's never been masculine, and but to see her blossom in her femininity, to see how even Lincoln and Kennedy, they understand. They don't know what it is. They have no idea what it is.
But they
know
respond
the
to
difference. But they know they respond to it, yes, and they know the difference between feminine and masculine energy, because when they want something, they know I'm not. If they want a certain thing, they say, I gotta ask mommy for this one. I gotta ask daddy for this one. And so I would lean on that. But we got Kyle coming back in. Destiny, I got you in a second. Let me get Kyle. Go ahead, Kyle, before you go.
I got to say something to Hannibal. No, I ain't gotta go nowhere. I would say I want to go after. But so my thing is, my best friend is a girl, right? And me and her got one of the best relationships ever. See, the thing about having women on your side is they have a different way of doing some things. You get what I'm saying? They don't have that same energy of jealousy or it's not a competition with them. So they want to see you win in a different way. You know what I'm saying? And if you got the right friend, that's a girl, she hooks you up with all her friends. It's the best thing.
Hey, Kyle. One of my best friends, his best friend is a female, and he says the same thing that I'm saying. See, you got one woman, that's it. You don't have multiple female friends, because you can. It's damn near impossible to have multiple best friends as females as a man. So okay, you got one, that's cool, but that's not for every man that's walking this planet.
Man, yeah, man, I'm gonna bring a Destiny, but I'll
Well,
give it
I'm gonna be honest with you though.
In that aspect.
Let me say this though. Let me tell you.
I got you, Destiny. I got you, Destiny. Amp Fresh.
So I got two girls I got two girl best friends, right? You know what I mean? They held me down harder than any of my male best friends ever. Like in my lowest points in my life, I can count on them. That's facts.
But Cal, that's not the norm, though.
It is
It's not the norm.
Listen, you gotta pick the right.
Oh
You
my
gotta pick the right friend.
God. If it's the norm, then all of us on this panel can say the exact same thing, and then other black men can say the exact. It's not the norm,
Me and
fam.
Champion Heart just said.
I'm not. Listen,
Me and him both said that.
listen. If it's the norm, then it'd be more than you, Champion Heart, and my best friend that I know. It's not the norm. I'm not, and the thing is, I don't have a problem, bro. I don't have a problem with it, but it's just not the norm, fam. It's never been the norm.
Could probably show you that right now on this panel. Could probably go right around this panel and ask how many of the males got.
The reason why it's not the norm is because we got a problem with trying to fuck every girl that we ever met.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
That's not. You know what? That could be on both ends, though. That could be on both ends, bro.
Listen to what I'm saying, bro. Most of the time, when a dude talks to a female, they want to fuck him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They're not mature enough to have the relationship.
Let me finish. Let me finish, bro.
Go ahead.
When you go into it, when you go into it, just meeting people, just trying to figure out who they are and how they are, and you're not thinking about sex, the first thing, you can get a genuine relationship with somebody that's platonic. But see, most of the time, niggas just trying to fuck. And then they get friend zoned, and then they want to say, oh, she my friend. But no, me and my partner, we never even had that type of party. Like, I would hook her up with my partner, she was with her friends, stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? It was never like, no, oh, I'm trying to fuck. No, that's the problem with y'all. Like, people go in, y'all want to fuck every girl you ever met. See, my thing is, I like to, when I meet a girl, I like to meet her, right? And then meet her friends, and then make my decision. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be making y'all decision right off the bat.
But your wife is your best friend.
Cal. This is what I'm saying, Cal. It's not the norm, fam. And if it's not the norm, just because you have your little two best friends, don't think every man on this planet could do what you're doing, fam. And that's why I'm trying to tell you and other dudes who think like y'all, because y'all think Cal. You do that, bro. No, Cal, it's not about maturity, fam. It's about just we humans, fam. Don't tell me it's always the man trying to smash on the woman, fam. Come on, now you being disingenuous just like everybody else. I don't have a problem. Listen, I don't have a problem with you having female best friends, but it's not the norm. So let's not act like it is.
You can't tell me, man. We're hunters, bro. We go hunting.
I didn't,
and that's why it can't be the norm.
And fam, this is what I'm trying. All right, hey Cal, you got it, bro. But like I said, Cal, my best friend, he been knowing his that chick since they was in grammar school, and she fine as hell. But he told me the same thing. Me and the women can't be friends like that. He told me the exact same thing, and him and his friends close till this day.
She need to get married. You need to get me married. And
this is and to prove my point, this is why I told the female in my family, or the woman in my family. I said, women can't be friends with themselves. When y'all get older, your friend is your husband or your boyfriend.
Keep it that way.
Not some old strange dude that came and fixed your tire at 6 a.m, or some other dude that bought you some lunch, or some other dude you grew up with. That ain't your friend.
And as a man, your best friend understands it. Hey, before you go, because I know you're gonna be a little bit long.
Let whoever you have to let in. Go ahead.
Destiny. Go ahead, Destiny. How you been?
She gonna be long too.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in a year, so hopefully she's doing well. You doing well? How you been?
Doing good. No, I'm listening to what y'all saying, and
you got to come to the phone. You got to come to the come.
Hold on. I'm sorry.
Come, Carissa. Is that it? Dorothy? What is it?
My bad, honey. I'm sorry. My bad.
What is that? Poke the dice. Come, Carissa.
Follow
Dorothy.
Dorothy is the skeleton. I mean the Dorothy is the brick railroad.
Can
Right.
No, we can't make out what you're saying.
you can't hear nothing I'm saying? That was terrible.
Yeah.
Now go ahead.
Go
You're a
ahead.
little better now. Go
Can hear
ahead.
you now.
Go ahead, Destiny. All right, I'm gonna kick you out. You come back in. No, we can't. I'm gonna kick you out, and you find a way.
You can hear me?
No, you sound like you're in the water. I'm gonna kick you out, and you come in. I'll bring in Ant Fresh.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ant.
Yeah. Hey,
Yo.
what's up, man? How you doing, brother?
Yeah. Hey, what's up with it, Champion Heart? What's up with it, Fred?
All right.
What's up with it, Round Table Talk? My nigga was good with it.
Cool and baby.
But yeah, man, this conversation it's been real, man. I just look at it like from this standpoint, man. At the end of the day, you know, a man's nature gonna be a man's nature, a female nature gonna be a female nature, and like I don't understand why people sit here and they act like, you know what I'm saying? Like you still can be cool with a chick, but if you are just naturally sexually attracted to their physical features, you can tell yourself all day long, oh, I'm not attracted, but you still just naturally gonna be attracted. Now, yeah, if you over just trying to chase tail like that for whatever reason, and like Fred said, you know, mature more mentally, then yeah, you probably can do business with somebody, be around somebody for hours, and it's just not pounding into your head that you know what I'm saying, making out images of how you want to, you know, fuck the girl, whatever. You understand what I'm saying? So it just depends on the person too. But at the end of the day, with Hannibal, man, you just gotta understand, bro. Like everybody different, and I know you say stuff is, you know, the norm or not the norm, but man, like some people really can be around females and not be on that. You feel what I'm saying? And ain't nothing wrong when they not, you know, homosexual or gay or none of that shit. They just got control of their emotions as a man. So that's
All
all.
right, man. Y'all misconstruing me.
Wait, Hannibal.
I'm not even talking. No, hold on, because I'm not even talking about having sex, man. God damn.
Destiny in, and then we can round robin it because she found
What the hell sex got to do with this shit?
All you, Destiny. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that, y'all. You know, AT&T is good and terrible. No, I was listening to what y'all was saying. Hannibal, I agree with some of what you were saying. Also, I agree, you know, Kyle, I agree with a lot of what you were saying. I feel like the reason why men and women have like such a disconnect, especially in the Black community, it has a lot to do with, you know, colonization. It has a lot to do with, you know, perceived gender roles nobody's born with gender roles. We are taught these things, but we perceive them as something that we are born with, but we're not born with gender roles. No man is born with knowing how to fix a goddamn car or a roof or any of these things or build a house. These are things that's kind of like instilled in us, right? Like, oh, this is what a man's supposed to do because, you know, y'all have the most, you know, you're stronger or whatever. And this is what a lady's supposed to do because I don't know why they tell us this, but this is what they used to tell us, right? And this is what we go with. But if you go against the grain, then it's okay. I mean, I was, I had soldiers. Soldiers, right? I had a lot of male soldiers. I was the best winged lady on planet Earth. I pulled more holes than they did, and I bring all them holes to them, and I got them laid more than they could ever got laid by themselves. I can guarantee you that. And I can guarantee you, my young soldiers, and if they did want to have sex with me, they never told that to my face, because it was just not that kind of party. They were just, you know, young, cute soldiers, and it's like some little babies, and you know, we hung out, we had a good time. But I mean, to each their own. If you feel like that's what it is, then Hannibal, that's what it is. Whatever your experience is what you can only go by, right? It's your experience. You can't speak for everybody, right? Same thing, like I can't speak for everybody because my experience is different from yours.
Yeah. Did science create this society, or did the society create science?
Well, let's think about that, right? So, is Earth science or is Earth a creation? Or it depends on how you want to look at it, right? If you're into creationism, which is, you know, religion or whatever that is, then you'll see it totally different. If you're into, you know, maybe science or you know, maybe whatever, you know, you may choose, you may look at it different. Me personally, I'm an atheist. So I don't go into creationism. But if that's what your thing is, then that's that's your thing. I can't.
No, but so you believe in science if you're an atheist?
Yeah, yeah, I believe in, but not all the science now. Now there's some junk science too. Now there's some junk science.
No,
Just like there's some junk religion. Like some of y'all people be like, yeah, that don't make sense in religion. There's a lot of junk science too, like stuff like stop it.
No, you believe in your DNA, right? Like
DNA is the real thing, but DNA can also be used in different ways too. It's always levels of things.
no, I'm talking about like
Within
organic
reason.
DNA, like from birth DNA.
Within reason.
Yeah. Do you have kids? You have
I
children?
I have 3 of them little bastards.
You have you have 3. So you so you understand it. You just in denial right now. You understand it.
Understand what am I doing about that?
You understand it. No, you understand it. You understand what masculinity is. You ain't about to sit here and play us. Nah, Destiny. Nah.
Hold up. What do you mean understand what masculinity?
I'll omit the word play so we don't go nowhere else.
I'm kind of confused. What do you mean? Like I understand. Like what am I understanding?
Like if you've had kids, that means you've dealt with a man. So you have an understanding of how masculine men move and how they talk. And you were a police officer, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
You were in the military or a police officer
I was both.
in Alabama. Oh, thank you. And so I think you have a great understanding.
I was not a police officer in the military. I was a police officer in civilian life, but I was in the military as well.
Okay.
But I was a drug dealer in the military.
Okay. And I genuinely believe you have an understanding of it. I don't know if you're are accepting of it, but I genuinely believe that you have an understanding of it.
Okay, describe masculinity, because that is subjective. It's not objective, right? It's subjective, right?
I don't think DNA is subjective.
No, so masculinity is not
This
subjective.
is going left. This is going left, far left, man.
Hold up. What you saying? He asking me a question, I'm only answering. So you saying masculinity is not subjective? I mean, being born with a male part, that's I guess that makes you a male. But what is masculinity? Define masculinity, and who tells you this is what a masculine?
Yeah, this is going
You know
left.
what it is.
This
You know what
going
it is.
left,
You got
man.
kids. You know what it is.
Yeah,
No,
because if you have
you
kids,
know what it is. You got
if you have,
kids.
This is going
What you
left,
talking
and
about?
I don't have patience for disingenuous conversations, man.
It's not disingenuous because you asked you posed a question. I'm asking
No,
you.
I didn't ask the question.
If you have kids, you know what masculinity. I gotta go potty.
You try to insinuate. I know what masculinity is. No, I don't know what masculinity is, because what is masculinity? What makes a man a man? So let me ask you a question, right? Let me ask you a question, right? So say you are, you're male, right? And you build homes, and you can break bricks, you can break faces, you can do all those things, right? You have a wife and children at home, right? But your children grow up and they don't have no connection to you, right? Although you stay in the home, right? You have your wife and you have your children, but you have no connection with your children, right? And but when it comes down to the physical things, you can build all the homes, you can break all the bricks, you can build all the bombs and shoot all the guns, right? So does that make you masculine, or is this a man that
No disrespect. I'm gonna say this: if a man doesn't have no connection to his children, he failed as a parent. That has nothing to do with his masculinity. So again, y'all can talk to her. I don't like having disingenuous conversations, man. This is silly. Y'all take over. Y'all take over, yo.
Well, I was not trying to disrespect you. I was just saying, I was asking a question.
No, you're not disrespecting me at all, and I'm not disrespecting you, but I'm not the type that like to.
But example, some men really think that. Some men really think like, it's all about like, let me beat my chest. So that's what I'm asking you. What do you think? What is masculinity to you? What makes you masculine?
I'm not the one to ask you the question, but as far as like masculinity, you already explained it. But then you try to connect that with a man not having connection with his children, and that's because he failed as a parent. That has nothing to do with his masculinity. And I don't like to get into these masculine and feminine games because we all know what it is. So
No,
we shouldn't hold on. We shouldn't have to keep on.
Nah, we know what it is.
We shouldn't have to keep
You got
on.
kids, you know what it
Right,
is.
that's what I'm saying. We gotta keep having these silly discussions about what's masculinity and
No,
what's femininity. That's a silly discussion when we already know the answer.
That's your question though. Okay, so when no, all jokes aside, I'm not trying to be funny, y'all. Please, I'm really not trying to be funny. I'm asking y'all a true question, right? So when high heels was first built, right? When the very first high heel was ever created, right? The first wig and the first makeup. Was it created for ladies or was it created for men? Legit question.
Yeah, that was probably created for them white folks.
No,
you know what I mean? With the powder wigs and all that.
No, baby boy, it was created in Egypt. It was created in Egypt. And it was not created for ladies, believe it or not.
I'm not even Egyptian. My people got ties here in America, so I can care less
Yeah,
about
but
that
the
continent.
femininity, first of all,
I
we
don't,
can get
and
past
this
the
is what I'm saying.
cosmetics.
Cause now
We can
this
get
about to
past the
go on.
cosmetics.
This
We can
about to
get
go
past
into
the
that
cosmetics.
Luciferian idol worshiping bullshit. This
Okay,
is what it's about to
We can
go
get past
into.
the cosmetics.
Okay,
You got kids. Like, you don't even got to do this. You don't have to do this at all.
Okay, we got it, Lucifer. We got it.
I'm just saying, it's like a moot point, really. If you're not
It's
gonna,
not a moot
if you're
point.
not
It's not a moot point.
going,
It's not a moot point. You cannot, So I mean,
so Thomas. So let me ask you a question. So let me ask you a question.
Mute yourself.
Oh, okay. All right, my bad.
Let me ask you a question. So you mean to tell me you were confused what masculine energy was when you decided to have kids? You mean to tell me you don't know if you allowed a non-masculine man to get you pregnant?
I never said that. Where did you get that information from?
Well, because you up here on a panel full of men asking what masculinity is, and we're telling you, you know exactly what it is.
Nobody described it to me though, Mister. I'm on a panel full of men.
Well, I'm curious. Did you give kids to masculine men?
I never. What my definition of masculine?
Did you give kids to masculine men? Yes or no?
Again, my definition of a masculine man can totally be different from masculinity is not objective. It is subjective, right? It means it can mean a bunch of different things to a bunch of different people. It really can. It's not an objective thing. It's not something like you can just.
Who told you that you validate anybody's masculinity?
I never said that. Where did you read that? Where did you hear me say that?
You just said in your definition.
So my definition.
But we don't. Men don't care about your definition because we the ones that's masculine.
So men don't care about my definition?
No, because you don't validate it.
No, not at all.
Validate
you
it.
don't validate it, and this the problem.
Okay. Oh, whatever you say, Mr. Hannibal. Anyways, Fred, how you been, baby?
I've been good. I haven't seen you in a year. How you been? I haven't seen you since COVID.
Stop it, Fred. You seen me since COVID.
No, I haven't. You ain't been on the show since COVID, like over a year.
Charles Study. I have been on show since I have been on show, right?
No, you ain't been here. No, you ain't been here.
Tell me tall stories. I'm sorry if I have not been on.
You've been causing problems in the boxing section.
Oh yeah, Kyle. You've been on Kyle's show. Yeah, you been Kyle. Yeah.
But Kyle, you know what? Kyle, you know what's so funny though? Once you took us off air, what did Cosmic say? What did he admit? Never once say anything about his mother. Never. I told you, Kyle. I keep trying to tell you, these niggas be lying. Niggas be liars and niggas be fake and phony. They cannot handle somebody. And he's not, anyways, I'm not going to say that on Fred's show, but some of these people, some of these individuals,
hey, you know what's crazy?
Can't do it. Can't do it.
Hey, you know what? Y'all got all this respect for Fred's show, and y'all don't give a damn about mine.
No, because the boxing section is the block.
Because it's late. That's why. Because it's late. That's why. Yeah, your show is later than mine.
We on the block
Fred,
at the boxing section.
I'm not gonna do that on your show, Fred. But they do it every fucking
thing. The boxing section is the hood.
Kevin Blower, if you're gonna call me an idiot, that makes you an idiot. You cannot have an intellectual conversation with me without calling me a name, right?
Well,
makes you an idiot, Mr. Kevin Brower.
Hold on, Destiny. Can I have an intellectual conversation with you?
Go ahead, baby boy. If you're gonna attack me, you're gonna start coming.
I'm not gonna attack you. I'm not gonna attack you.
Try to tell me about some Jesus because I'm an atheist.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm
Okay.
just curious. I'm not. I'm
Okay.
just curious because I feel like you up here playing. But I want to preface everything.
So never mind. Back.
No, Destiny, hold on, because I want to
Don,
preface.
talk to me. You're done. Talk to me, sir. You're done. You're
Oh
done.
my
The
God.
done. The run done. Yeah, all that. Champion Heart. What's up, baby boy?
All right.
Hey, Destiny, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
All right, are you subscribed to the channel?
You already know. Already know.
All right, that's what's up.
Women play. You see the trick and the manipulation. How you doing, Champion Heart? How you doing?
Mind you, she called him baby boy. My man got grays in his beard. Baby boy.
Okay, but Champion Heart. The reason why sometimes I don't come on barbershop conversation because he know how I feel about Bud, and when he don't talk good about Bud.
Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't.
I'm very much biased. I'm very much biased when it comes down to Bud.
That's talking about Bud Crawford. Okay.
Yeah. Champion. Hey, Fred. Who's my favorite fighter? Well, I have three favorite fighters, but one of my favorite fighters is Bud. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
And Fred be dragging him. I'd be like, what the hell's going on with Fred? Like, what did you think that about?
Bud is a good fighter, but I'm glad he made that business. But I know Michael Fuller wants to respond. Go ahead, Michael Fuller. You've been waiting patiently.
I'm sorry, my bad.
No,
no. I mean, yeah. My response, and I've just been listening. I mean, my response to the lady's question is probably something she won't accept. But I'll just say, if you ever think,
say it, man.
I'll just say if there's any doubt about whether God exists or not, all you have to do is look into a newborn baby's eyes. And if that doesn't ho.
I'm sorry.
And if that doesn't convince you, go outside late at night when the sky is clear and look up into into the sky and look at those body of stars and planets.
You went to goddess worship?
What I'm trying to say is that, and I feed it into this. God defines what masculinity is. He tells us what we are men when we live the way that he's prescribed us to live. In his eyes, taking care of our families, taking care of those who are less than in regards to their ability to take care of themselves around us, have a mindset of love and appreciation for other human beings. We're men when we carry that. When we educate ourselves, we work hard, we apply ourselves to the tasks that we have in life, and we lead our women and our children. That's what makes us men. All right, so it's no question about it. As far as this subjective masculinity, no, that's getting too much into that. That's getting too much in that westernized way of looking at manhood. No, it's a man is specifically defined by our abilities to take care of our not only our abilities but our actions to take care of the responsibilities that we have by God and by those who we've been entrusted with.
Right. I mean, to provide a covenant over a woman first and family second. I mean, in that order, right? I mean, that's typically what it is. And I just think we've been mistaught by the wrong men. Masculinity is loud. Masculinity is I'm bigger and stronger than you. Masculinity is I got a prison record. You don't. Masculinity is I know every Tupac lyric and you listen to R&B. If you can provide a covenant over your woman and your kids through perpetuity, because the instructions that you give will live through perpetuity, is because I can hear my grandfather's voice sometimes. Like I literally can hear it when I'm talking to Lincoln, when I'm talking to Kennedy. Like I'm like, damn, my grandfather used to say that, So I think that we have to understand that and our music and our entertainment, because we've come to the conclusion, we as a society, not the 9 of us here, have come to the conclusion that sports and entertainment builds culture. God and family is culture. And it takes time for people to get there to fully understand that, you know, and that's why before having kids, everything needs to be vetted. You know, you got to have an understanding of the spiritual aptitude of the person that you're deciding to procreate with. Whether you got to know, just like you got to know the credit score, just like you got to know how much money they make. You really got to understand what her integrity is, because guess what? You're going to have a space in your relationship, and I can raise my hand and say this is your relationship for a period of time becomes about logistics, and what keeps it together is integrity. What keeps it together is the foundation of love. What keeps it together is the vision, you know, and then you get back to love, you know, and when you have time to love on your wife and or love on your husband. So I think that the word covenant is I think is the word of the day as it pertains to masculinity, because you may it's 8 men here. Some men are quiet. You know, I'm not quiet. I'm not maybe I'm too firm. I don't even think I'm too firm anymore. Dre and I have been down 23 years. So it's not even firm. Like she's and she's a woman of very few words. So and we communicate well in our 23rd year. So so I think
congratulations to y'all for it. All jokes aside, congratulations to y'all. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And the covenant though, like to provide a covenant over your family, like is so essential, because my grandfather wasn't a loud man, you know, but I am a very in your face type of father, husband, whatever you want to call it, you know, like I'm very like, did you do it? Yes or no? You know, so but yeah, anyone else want to add to that? And feel free. I don't know where we're at. Hannibal, because you've been biting at the bit.
Nah, I'm just sitting back listening, man. But one thing I do want to say is I believe families need to stick together no matter what. Like if abuse is not involved, then it should be no reason why you all need to break up. Y'all have children, and you know, I think it's like it's weak to just be like, well, since me and the mother or the mother and the father, whatever, not getting along, they need to just break up when they got kids. Like, nah, y'all need to stick that out until the children is able to move about the house. Then you all can go about y'all separate ways. Because to me, I just say it's too late. Like once y'all bear children, it's too late to talk about splitting up. Y'all should have did that before y'all had children.
Facts.
And another thing too, when you do that, you show your children that whenever it gets tough in a relationship, you just need to tuck your tail between your legs and run.
Hannibal, are you married? Are you married, Hannibal?
No.
Oh, okay, got it.
But it doesn't matter though. I don't need to be married to speak on certain things.
Okay, got it. Follow.
You know. All right. Okay. Are you married?
I was for 20. What? No, I was with him for 22 years. We were married for 19. Yeah.
Okay. I'll just, you know. Yeah. That's good though. That you was married for 23 years.
No, I was with him until we were married for 19. Yeah.
19? Well, that's shit. Some people only married for 5 years. Shit, 19, that's a long ass time.
Yeah, you're telling me, right?
It's quite an
We'll go around.
Go ahead.
No, we can give our closing remarks with it too. L, you want to go?
Yeah. Great conversation tonight, man. Yeah, great conversation tonight, man. A lot of subject matter that we touched on, man, and it's sad today in today's society that the lies that have been told generation after generation, they've been told under the premise that it's the truth. But again, like I said earlier, everything comes to a head. You can only lie to a person for so long until that subconscious part of them, that conscious, that inner self, that inner what word am I trying to look for? That inner reasoning, that inner
logic.
Yeah, that person that checks you comes out and say, man, this ain't right. Eventually something is gonna move you to challenge the lie, because the lies don't add up. Only gotta tell the truth one time. But lies always have an ever-changing form to them. And when a person is able to recognize that and see that, damn, this has been given to me upon the premise of truth, it does this. It breaks a person down. It hurts them. You take a piece of that person from them. But what you do that's even worse, you turn a person off to what is actually truth. See, the truth gets drowned out by the lie, and it becomes totally unattractive. But the truth really never had a chance. And see, a lot of times when you try to tell a person that's been victim and held captive to lies, when you try to give them, when you're trying to give them the truth, they don't even want to hear the truth, and they don't even want to give reason that a truth exists. They start basing everything off of their one experience, their one failure, but that doesn't make it true. And a lot of times those type of people don't even realize that they're trying to make sense of something being a broken person. They don't even give enough thought to understand that I'm not even whole to even understand that in which I'm seeking. Like, I'm trying to figure this out as a broken person instead of just getting to a point of healing and a point of just understanding. See, when you truly searching for the truth for good reason, not out of hurt, not out of spite, the truth gonna get placed right in your lap, and it's gonna come with understanding. But you gotta be ready and open for that. So what I say for all those who've been lied to, because a lot of people have been lied to by those who were in position of guardianship to them, and they've been broken for life. I see broken people all the time. Get to a point of where you can heal and you can accept that you need something greater than you to understand what you're going through. And you're not even anywhere close to understanding everything that you have been through and actually where you're trying to get to. So there is a higher power out there that exists, whether you want to believe it or not. Everybody has a right to believe what they believe because we given that right. And I'm not going to tell a person how to, exercise their rights. But I understand this, man. We all flawed as humans, and we all got a degree of pain that is hindering us in our life to some degree, on some level, with whatever, on something. Man, we not whole at all. And until we whole again, we ain't gonna never truly understand the purpose of our existence and true happiness on this life. Man, I appreciate the conversation with y'all brothers and young lady Destiny Black. I appreciate everything, man. Freddie, thank you for opening the panel to us all, man, and sharing each other, thoughts and sharpening each other's steel, man. Y'all take care.
All right, love, microphone.
All right, L. Take care, man.
All right now.
You can go next, Destiny.
I'm listening to what people saying, Fred, I've always come from a different angle anyway, so it don't really matter what I say. Y'all do y'all thing. I'm listening.
Go ahead, champ.
Destiny, go and you say you subscribe to Cooking with the Champ.
No. I didn't hear the cooking channel, baby boy. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, you need to go subscribe to that.
Okay.
Put it in the chat. Champ.
It's called Cooking with Champ.
Cooking with the Champ. Yeah.
Cooking with the Champ. Okay, got you.
Yeah, let me say this.
Fred, you better know how to goddamn cook. No, I'm just
I got
Good point.
skills. Um, Fred, like you said, you use your life as an example, and I use my life as an example as well. You know, what I was exposed to, looking at, you know, my uncle be, you know, a husband and a father now, and how he terrorized, you know, his family. Uh, you know, I look at that. So in my situation, you know, like Hannibal was saying, that if there's no abuse involved, then, you know, there should be no reason. And I get that, you know, but in my situation, the young lady, I fell in love with her representative, you know. So when truly who she was began to leak out, then, you know, I knew that this wasn't going to work. The best thing was for me to do was to do what I did to make sure that, you know, I was involved in my daughter's life. And that didn't mean, you know, I had to be in the house. When, you know, when she came to my home, everything she had at her mother's home, she had at my home. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I made sure that, you know, that she was happy. And I didn't, you know, I felt that it would be more detriment to her, you know, had I tried to force that situation with, you know, with her mother. So I chose not to do that. But because my father wasn't involved in my life, I made it, you know, imperative that I was going to be involved in my daughter's life. And as she got older, and I let her go live with her mother in California, you know, that still didn't stop me. You know, it was no problem for me to be at her school affairs and her events and things of that sort. But you know, she was with me for a long period of time, and then when I allowed her to move there, that still didn't stop me. Like I said, I made it apparent, you know, to be involved in my daughter's life, and I think she turned out pretty good. You know, she had both sides. You know, I gave her a lot of realisms, you know, of life and the world. I think her mother gave her a lot of Disney stuff, so I had to offset that with realism, you know, so that my daughter would understand real life. You know, it was something else, man, that oh yeah. Let me address this with Hannibal real quick. You know, he was saying that, you know, that the man and female situation was not about sex, but if I remember correctly, brother, you said that, you know, that men are always trying to smash. So, I mean, you made it about sex. And in that perspective, you know, I would say, you know, probably 80% of the time guys are, you know, trying to smash. But, you know, you have to understand that you can, you have to be, you know, mature in that relationship and be able to have that relationship without, you know, allowing a little head to take over. I think as you get older, you know, that develops, you know, like I said, I have, you know, like Kyle was saying, you know, I have a lot of female friends who, you know, who look out for me because of things that I've done for them in the past, you know, and it's not about, you know, it's not about sex. Now I can do the things that I can do because I'm not married. So I get what you're saying. If you're married, then yeah, then of course you shouldn't have those type of relationships. I get what you're saying there. But I'm not married, so I'm able to, you know, to do these things, you know. But man, this was a good conversation tonight, man.
Yeah.
You know, salute to all my brothers, man. Much love to y'all, man. And Fred, you got the video I sent you, right?
Last week, yeah, we doing it tomorrow. Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow.
Okay, cool. All right, man. Much love, man. Salute to y'all.
No, thank
all
you.
Right. All right, man. All right, later.
Hey, by the way, when I be laughing on the show and y'all be in serious conversations, it's because I'm watching TV. You know what I mean? And I'm listening to y'all. And no, I'm not watching it as in like I'm full attention, but you know what I mean? I was watching Bad Beats and I apologize. Someone was having a serious moment. And I was watching, you know how to do the segment of Bad Beats on ESPN. If you're a gambler, you understand, but many of y'all maybe not, but I am. Are you done, Destiny, or you want to add something else?
Who, me?
Yeah. You want to give your closing remarks?
Okay, yeah. I was just gonna say, like, you know, whatever your beliefs is your beliefs. I'm not here to try to make you become an atheist or anything else that you don't want to be. If you believe in a sky daddy or whatever you want to believe, you believe in fucking, ants rule the world. That's your business. But just realize that just because that's what you believe does not make it correct. And what I believe does not make it correct. It's my reality. And a lot of times it's perception. Is people think it's reality. Perception does not overrule reality. Perception is exactly what it is. So perception a lot of times is our reality. So I live in my own perception. Just like most of y'all do. Nobody has the answers. Nobody's died and can come back and tell anybody what this is and what this is not. So whatever you want to believe, keep that, that's for you. And that's your truth. Live your truth and live it out loud. But there's always one truth that's, universal that can never be, disputed. And it's always your truth that you live. And that's okay. And whether, we agree, disagree, or whatever, Black love is important because there's so little of it nowadays. And I think, especially amongst the Black men and Black women, we definitely have to, find a better way of communicating with one another and showing love to one another. No matter what we believe or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter, but we need to learn how to communicate with each other without tearing each other down or being, negative towards one another. No matter, your belief differs from mine or whatever. Because Fred is he's a conservative and I'm a staunch liberal. But I still respect Fred. I would never come on this show and be like, you bitch ass nigga. I would never do that to Fred because I don't have no reason to do that because he doesn't deserve that. And just be ridiculous anyways. We never get nowhere when we're doing that. I'm just saying, Black love is important. No matter what we believe, no matter where we differ at, it's important. And it's to find a common ground. If we can find a common ground, I think we can start healing.
Thank you. Aunt Fresh. Aunt Fresh, you still there? Aunt Fresh gone. Who we got? We got Dr. Fuller. Go ahead, dog. Doc!
I'm still here. I
was gonna try and wake you up, man.
No, I'm still here.
All right, I know he's late.
I couldn't fall asleep on this one. It was pretty interesting conversation.
It was an awesome conversation.
It was. What I say is that, the reference I made earlier when I talked about going outside, I kind of live in a rural area. So when I go outside, I can pretty much see the whole celestial bodies, all of them, like a big globe of stars when I go outside on my back deck. And one thing that comes to mind is I know when I look at that I'm not qualified to say that there is no God. Because there's so much that I don't know, right? When I look out and see all that majesty out there and all that power, and we're talking light, you can see planets and stars from, deep into the galaxy, and we don't have the slightest idea how all that got there or even how we got here. We're just not qualified to say that there is no God. I do know that when we talk about the social issues that exist between men and women, they are specific to black families and black couples. There's no other group of people or man that lives in this society that does not have control of his women like we don't. Black men, we're the only men that really don't have any. I'm not talking about specific cases. I'm talking about the aggregate as a whole. We have no control over our women, and the reason why we don't have, you can see it. You can see it. You get on the internet, all of our women are butt naked twerking. A lot of them are doing that. We have no control of our women, none, absolutely none. And it is a function of what we've endured here, but also it's a function of us not being able to come together collectively and solve some of these problems. This is without the family, we're done. That's it. and you can wrap it up. Well, because the only way, if we don't have family, that means you're out there chasing tail, sleeping with a bunch of folks, and we're living like the breeding farms that were created in Richmond, Virginia, and other huge places that bred us like animals in the history of this country. We're just breeding like animals, right? And we're outside of God's will. So the fact is, until we actually come together as men and start figuring out ways how we're to conduct ourselves, both individually and collectively, to change the situation that exists in society with our families, first and foremost, we can just write our descendants off, because they won't have anything to fall back on. So good conversation, sobering conversation.
Sobering. Yeah.
Yeah. But the Bible says only a fool says that there is no God. That's scripture. The best thing that we can do is humble ourselves and realize that we are not God, and that there is a creator of everything that we see and don't see. So, I mean, as long as we get coming, we need God, fellas. We need God. We need to come back to where he wants us to be. We're not going to be perfect, but we need to humble ourselves and pray for one another, that we get to that place where we're moving towards God closer, and bringing our families into a place that we should be. Otherwise, we're not going to make it. That's my take.
Appreciate you. Thank you, dog. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for starting off the conversation. Thank you. Mr. Henderson, what's up?
Fred, I was going over my closing remarks and realized that I just want to say this. Shout out to the barbershop conversation for allowing us a panel to where we can have some of these discourses together and be in an environment where nobody will be muted for their opinion, which will open up opportunity to have, uncomfortable conversations at times. I just want to let Destiny know that that was a genuine question. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to play games with her or nothing like that. But shout out to Fred and the platform. Gotham City Bullies on Instagram and TikTok, man. I appreciate you, Fred. This was a dope.
It was a good show, wasn't it? It
Dope
was a
ass
good
show.
show. It was. It honestly was. Honestly was. You know what I mean? And thank you. Thank you. Kyle, you there? I'm gonna let Kyle go.
Yeah, I mean, what you mean I'm gonna let me go? Yeah, can I unmute my mic for a second, brother? Man, great fucking show, man. Great fucking show, Fred. Man, men were men tonight. Nobody got out of character. Everybody, you know what I'm saying, stated their piece. And we had a great conversation. And I'm gonna say this like a motherfucker. Having a girl best friend was the best decision I ever made in high school. The best one.
Okay, Kyle got to deal with some business. Man, get out of here, Kyle. Go ahead and do what you got.
I thought you were gonna close the show out.
They ain't got nothing, man. Stop playing with me, man. You know you gotta, man. I'll close.
No,
the
ain't
show
nobody
out.
here. It's Monday, man. Nobody here. I'm by myself.
Okay, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm glad Dr. Fuller brought this up. Maybe we'll talk about this tomorrow. And I'm gonna tell you what despises me, man. When I say it despises me, because okay, let me preface this. It hurts my soul when I see this shit, dog. Loud ass, ignorant women. Oh my God, I can't stand that shit, man. And you know why I think I can't stand it? Because it ruptures your masculinity, right? It ruptures it. It's like, you ain't got no man in your life. Why the fuck are you so loud? Why are you so loud? And as a landlord, you learn how to pick your tenants, right? And because you have an open house, you have an open apartment similar to the way you do an open house, and people come through and look at it, and you see the loudness. You know, one is on Section 8, one doesn't have a mom. I mean, a mom, a dad, and you can just tell immediately, man. I mean, I hate to be so exact. You can tell if a woman's been raped, molested, and obviously you're making an assumption as a man. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm perfect at it. No. That's not what I'm saying. But if she been done wrong by a man, if she plays around with women, but loud women, not just a turn off, but it's a shame that every man that they have been a part of has destroyed them, have broken them down to the basic atom, because they have no trust, no self-respect, none of that shit, man. And it's and I do have a tenant now that's like that. And she's a grandmother. Can you believe that? She's a grandmother. She's older. And she's never been, I can tell
When you
she's
say older, you mean like 40, 50?
no grandmother. Oh, thank you for correcting.
Nigga.
Yeah. Okay,
know.
then great grandmother, and I can tell she's never been in love. She's probably 65, 66. She's never been in love, man. And it's so obvious how she talks to me, and she's hot and cold. There's no medium with her. And that's a whole nother thing. Did y'all see that grandmother twerking on the shade room or something like that? Dog, I was gonna do a video on this and I forgot, but I'm gonna just do it now, so I ain't got to do no video on it. I don't give a fuck who. Not people not gonna listen, but I saw this. I don't know. They changed it, man. So I be forgetting how to get to my damn. Is it more and more? Okay, the saved. Okay, it's right here. I saw this shit and oh man, I almost flipped the burger, man. Almost flipped it. Let's see if I can find it. Damn, I didn't save it, dog. Did I get that mad and didn't save it? Did y'all see that grandmother twerking?
You probably got that mad and didn't save it, dog.
Oh my god.
Hey, I got a beef with you too, Fred.
Go ahead.
Hey man, don't be dance shaming, man.
Who? Dare shaving?
Don't be dance shaming. You know what I'm
Dad
saying?
shaving?
That Beyonce dance, that's a great dance, man.
Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Get the
You know
fuck.
what I'm saying?
No man should be doing that.
A man created the damn dance.
I don't give a fuck if a man created. No, that don't mean the man should be doing it. That shit is disgusting.
Bro, Michael Jackson did the same dance moves, bro.
Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Come on, man. I mean, but you you go ahead and do it and post it. Go ahead and post it. And have a good time. Have a good time posting that shit. Dog, where is it, dog? I didn't save it. Oh my god. So, anyways, there's a grandmother. Man, I want y'all to see this shit. It gotta be on YouTube. Grandma's twerking. Man, this is so disgusting. This is so disgusting, man. Where grandma at? I'm not gonna find her tonight. But she was on a shade room or something, twerking. Grandma twerking. If you're a grandma, I don't care if you're a 35-year-old grandma, a 55-year-old grandma, a 85-year-old, you should not be twerking on the internet. That shit lasts forever, man. And the conversation that we didn't talk about, I think Hannibal mentioned it real briefly, and no one responded to it, including myself, was it's the projected perception of the men that look like Master P. And I think when these grandmas and these loud ass women talk, I think it's a projection of what they think black women look like, man. Cooking with the Champ, man. I thank the Most High for my grandmother who prepared me to be the loving father that I became to my daughters. Amen. 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 Man, twerking ain't in our roots. Twerking is not an African dance when you half naked and your hands are on your knees and you're using it as a sexual reference. It's not an African. Nah, that's not African dance. You're not an African garb. Nah, man, come on. See now we trying to pretend to change the definition of bad right before our very eyes. Oh, that's yeah. Nah, man. You ain't getting over on that. But I just think old women, man, be an old woman. If you're a grandmother, be a grandmother, dog.
Man, hey, listen.
Damn,
You
I
know the
can't
thing is,
find
man, I miss old ladies being in church, giving out peppermints, man. What happened to them days, man? What happened to the peppermint grannies, man?
Yeah, man, go put some peppermints in your purse, man. Man, these women don't even carry purses no more. They got an iPhone. They don't even carry purses no more, dog. I ain't even lying to you, man. They don't even carry purses no more. They got an iPhone. Matter of fact, their boyfriend is carrying it. You know what I mean? Dumbass. You know, stupid motherfucker. He carrying the purse. And then how about the man that accepts it, man? How about the man that says it's okay for you to curse and verbally abuse me and disrespect me in front of other men? Man, listen, that's weird to me. And man, it's Miss Mabel used to. Is it Miss Mabel? It's some woman online, man. She's I saw it on, man. Let's see if I can find that, man. But they post every damn day, so it's no way I can. Man, I was so mad I didn't even say that shit, man. Damn. God damn. I didn't save it, dog.
Why?
Man,
Just go to the shade room.
oh, it's probably, but it's so many. They post so many of them. You know what I mean? I want y'all.
When did you see it?
It's probably on Hollywood Unlocked. But let's check. Let's check. I saw that shit and I was so disgusted. Okay, let's see if it's here. They post like 40 times a day though. So, and by the way, that motherfucker Harvey Weinstein is guilty of rape. So
Hey, jail did him no favors. You see how old he got overnight, friend?
I'm glad. I don't even follow him, so but I'm glad he's old and he's dying. And
No, I just seen the picture of him in court that they had posted
man,
today.
I want y'all to see this old ass grandmother. This shit is disgusting, man. When I say disgusting, and I think it's a paid advertisement. So she's intentionally doing this. Well, obviously she's intentionally doing it no matter what, but man, I'm never gonna find it, man. I gotta find it, dog. Gotta find it, dog. It's funny. I ain't even see 90% of these posts on my line. It's like, oh, here it is right here. Here it is right here. Found. Look at this. Look at this nasty shit. Look at this nasty shit. Look at this nasty shit, man. What's up, people? Hernandez? Look at this nasty shit. Look at this nasty. This shit is nasty. Nasty, disgusting. Go put some clothes on. Look at this shit. Granny said this is how she practices walking through taking care of your man because you don't treat him right. Look at this shit. And the fact that she said that shit, dog. This shit is disgusting. There's another one too. Man, this shit disgusting, dog. There's another one she had too. Well, man, I just, man, these loud ass, nasty ass women, I don't like them, man. Don't like them. Don't respect them at all. You know? Oh, man. She got another one on here. Man, I don't know. I ain't even see all these posts. That's funny. But I must. It's funny how they create these algorithms for you. I ain't even see none of this shit. Anyways, man, if you're a grandma 35 years old, you the problem anyway. Yeah, man, how the fuck you a 40-year-old grandma? No, I should. Yeah. Anyways, man, you part of the problem, man. You know what I mean?
Hey, on everything.
What?
No, I'm agreeing with you fully. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. But man, let her walk on the treadmill is it's not effective.
Hernandez.
It's not, but it's gonna impact these 17-year-old girls, man. She on Hollywood Unlocked, man. They got that video. Let's see how many views that shit did. How many girls that shit gonna impact? Let's see. I'm just curious. because the internet is a new mother and father now.
And then they're gonna hashtag Black Girl Magic. Ain't that a bitch?
Oh, yeah, let's see the hashtag. Let's see the hashtag. Now I'm interested. Now I am interested. You got me. Hopefully I can. Let's see. They got 28 likes. Oh, they took the comments off. Oh, they took the comments off. Nah, they ain't got. They got hashtag Granny Go Dumb. Look at this nasty bitch.
You said Granny is dumb? Okay.
Granny Goes Dumb. That's. Oh, she got her own Instagram. Man, this is sad, man. This is sad. Y'all married her. Y'all gave her this confidence. It's y'all
Pull it
fault.
up, Fred. Pull
Nah,
it up.
man. We'll talk about it tomorrow. I'm out of here. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Appreciate y'all, man.